You're watching Suckprofessor. Hello, everybody. It's me, Hank. I'm joined by
James.
James. It's my favorite horseman, James. We're two cowboys, James, you and me.
Cool.
We go on adventures. I get to be Dolores. Welcome to the show, everybody. Season 2, Episode 2, called
Reunion.
There's a lot of reunions in this one. Mm-hmm. And some unions, maybe. I don't know. But welcome to the show, everybody. Please like and subscribe to show your support if you like it. If not, that's okay. James, a couple things real quick. We whiffed it. I want to include you. But last week, we talked about, at the very end, I didn't know who the guy in the water was. And a lot of people, commenters pointed out that was Teddy. 100%. We were wrong. I'm just letting everybody know that I appreciate that they made us look stupid. I made us look stupid.
No, I did point out that I didn't think it was Teddy.
That's true.
He's like, oh, that guy's too young looking to be Teddy.
Yeah. The other thing I was confused about, and I'm only bringing this up because people kept correcting it, although I did correct it in last week's, but is that the time frame of that period between them wasn't the 2 weeks. I thought it was 1 day. It turned out to be 2 weeks or something.
Yeah.
So,
and the fact that we didn't talk about Ashley Stubbs being
that came out of nowhere.
Chronologically out of place, because the last time we saw him, Ghost Nation, he was presumably dead. The 2 week missing gap. So there's a lot to be explained right there. We should have been a little bit more exasperated that seeing him appear on the screen without explanation, but
sure, a lot was going on.
Yeah,
we were kind of in Bernard's POV at that moment. So anyway, that's kind of how it works. It's sort of a podcast kind of thing. We just kind of go through the screenshots and re-experience the episode. So we're looking for details, but we're gonna miss some. This is not the as we like to say. I don't know why we think the Smithsonian does good shot by shot.
Oh my God, masterpiece theater! It is not. And we just watched it like 20 minutes ago. It's still fresh in our head, but we don't have a transcript before us. We haven't had time to go online and read other theories. We haven't had time to go and look on Reddit.
Right.
We haven't done any of that stuff that people who are probably watching this have already had the benefit of doing. So please forgive us if we are not completely on point. We're doing our best.
Forgive us our sins.
Yes.
And of all shows to have details slip through the cracks, this is it. This whole thing is confusing.
There's a lot of cracks in
I lose details about my own reality, and I'm stuck in it all the time. There's about 18 different realities all happening in one show here. So
lots of cracks, and you had to block them all out.
I do block the cracks, so don't worry. No one's delicate eyeballs will be offended by the sight of a human butt. All right. Actually, this one was pretty light as far as that goes. So, opening shot comes in with Dolores. First of all, no intro sequence, at least not yet.
Well, not yet.
I know, but
it was a little jarring.
It was like a cold open, which you don't normally see in this episode. It's Dolores being told to come back online, but you immediately can tell something's different. Her hair is different. There's lights and there's something going on behind her.
Yeah, she's got a more modern hairstyle going on. Her hair's not that having your hair down is not a modern style, but it looks like she has makeup on. She's different. This is like that thing where women pull their hair back and tie it up and stuff. It's amazing what women do at the back of their head. They can't even see the back of their head. It's amazing. It is.
Yeah, I can never do that. So he's like, what are you doing? Oh, I feel like I'm in a dream.
It's easy to speculate this is Arnold, especially because it says in the subtitles this is Arnold speaking. So we're kind of good on that one, but we realize that Arnold has now brought Dolores, the host Dolores, into his world. So we get to see a glimpse of the outside. So now we don't have to speculate anymore. Is the world in some sort of post-apocalyptic wasteland? Is it still our world? Is it Earth? We know all this now. This has been confirmed.
It's a modern skyscraper that still looks like it still pretty much works. It's similar to where we live now, I guess.
Right.
Probably a little bit further in the future. But...
And last week we got the kind of little tidbit of information that the Chinese Navy had come into the scene, that they were potentially investors in it, or this speculating that this actual park is on an island near China, the China, South China Sea or whatever. I don't know. I'm not a geography
China
guy.
probably has a slightly more efficient regulatory apparatus.
Yeah,
go rape a bunch of robots. Where in America, it'll be like, oh, we should have a commission about robot rape, and let's talk about it. Which I'm not advocating for either of those courses.
So at the time, it seemed very logical that they could be in Chinese waters.
Yeah.
On an island. But it wasn't completely confirmed because a 2 week time span had already transpired, so if the Chinese Navy needed to get there, they had plenty of time to do so. Yeah. But I think it was safe to assume that, yes, this is somewhere near China because we know it's on an island and we know the Chinese Navy is involved.
Also, I don't have the ability to detect, I could probably do but some American cities, but I don't think this is an American city.
I'm terrible with cityscapes.
My guess is Hong Kong. They're owned by China, and maybe Singapore. Hong Kong is. The British lease ran out. It was a 99-year lease. So those are just wild guesses. I'm just thinking of big cities in Asia, and Singapore's its own country. I'm not suggesting that that's China. So who knows? It's got to be a coastal city, I would imagine. Oh yeah, it is a coastal city. They have shots of the water. So Anyway, he's kind of enjoying taking in the way that how much
Right, so we don't want to miss that particular line. Have you ever seen anything so full of splendor? That's a line that's used throughout the episode where she's looking at the lights of the world. She says it looks like the stars have fallen from the sky, and there's
right there.
scattered across the ground. This is something that's new to her. This is an anachronism for the reality that she knows in Westworld.
Yeah.
So it's like a child looking at something for the first time, and then Arnold says something else.
This
Okay.
one? You want me to keep? Well, I mean, I don't have every single line.
Well, no, but I know you have this one.
Yeah. Oh, I do?
Right here.
And
after a while, it doesn't look like anything at all, which...
Yeah. Big line.
Yeah,
Really
big
important.
line. So it almost seems like that line was originally orchestrated by Arnold to use for the hosts, because whenever they see something that's not inherent to their world, they intentionally don't see it because it would mess with their programs, and they say it doesn't look like anything to me.
Which Barnard says when he looks at the schematic during the episode 7 or 8,
right?
Or whatever it is he's revealed to be a host. He looks at a picture, a drawing, a technical drawing of himself, and he goes, "That doesn't look like anything at all." So it's an interesting juxtaposition,
right?
And a comment about how we in our world we do live in a magical world. There's all kinds of incredible things all around us. There's actually a huge city full of lights, and it does become background noise to us. It does fade away. It does become kind of invisible.
After a while, the majesty fades.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like...
I used to be so impressed when I drive by a McDonald's or a Subway. Now I just drive by.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Burger King! I still love a good Burger King.
Yeah, and the point that he's making is that maybe humans don't deserve this world anymore. It's the world that belongs to the new, to the uninitiated, to the children, to the hosts, because they truly appreciate it, whereas he has lost that sort of allure.
That reminds me of that famous saying, robot children are the future. Bleep, blorp, bleep, blorp, bleep, blorp. That was so fucking stupid. All right, I don't think I could ever get you. So she's just taking it in. Holy moly. By the way, I love a good shoulder. Who doesn't like a nice shoulder?
Yeah. And again, I have to say that I still have to kind of speculate wildly, saying that we know that Dolores was the first robot, the first host created by Arnold.
Yeah.
So we know that she's special to him.
Right.
And we know that he created her for a particular purpose. But could it be that this is someone important to him from his past life or from his current life? We don't know yet. The episode has not yet revealed that, but I'm still holding on to that strand.
His original idea was to get her hired at Fox News.
Yes.
That's why he made an attractive blonde woman.
White woman, yes.
Blonde white lady. But
and just the way he looks at her seems to suggest that this is more than just a host.
Yeah, so we don't know yet who Dolores is based on.
We don't.
And I'm hoping we find out this season.
I'm hoping it's going to be a big revelation.
They may hold that information back. It wasn't relevant in the first season. It might not be relevant in the second season.
The cool thing is, and this is another bit of speculation, is that I think it will be revealed at a later point in time. I think Dolores will meet this person, and it's going to be a much older version of her, obviously.
Ooh, wrinkled Dolores.
It will have to be, because we know that if she's still alive, much time has passed.
Yeah. Kind of like Doc, the guy, the scientist from Back to the Future. Mm-hmm. Maybe she'll answer the door wearing an umbrella full of Christmas lights on her head.
Yep.
All right, so this is the voice of Ford, as you can tell, Dr. Ford. I like how they make him sound younger. It's almost time, Arnold. Is she ready?
Yeah, even if we miss the fact that this was Arnold originally, the fact that he calls him Arnold again, and it's Dr. Ford, and it's a young Dr. Ford, which we predominantly see in a reflection.
Yeah.
And again, I've said it in the short video, but reflections are key in this season, as it was in season 1. And we'll get into that a little bit more, but always pay attention whenever you see reflections in glass, in a mirror.
Or in an eyeball.
It's a big theme.
Yeah. And they're so Ford is like, we got to go. I think it sounds like they're going to some sort of party or a sales thing, kind of.
It seems like they're in a hotel room, or a swanky suite.
But they're in a phase of their operation where they're gathering investors and kind of getting the word out.
This is the early days before the release, before the opening of the park.
Exactly. So,
this is their Shark Tank pitch.
Yeah, this is, and she's just an early Tesla model that they're like, hey, look at it, look at this electric thing.
Fire into space right after this.
She's got a radio in her ear. They just turn the knob a couple dials. And so he's like, no, she's not ready. She's still doing improvisation. Like I added some stuff, but she's acting, she's not quite there.
It's almost like he's being overly protective of her. He doesn't want to put out something imperfect, but at the same time, he doesn't want to harm her. He doesn't want to sensory overload her.
Kind of like with how I am with you when we go to the library. Go ahead.
This is why you always order McDonald's for me.
Yeah,
it's like, only I speak to the box. I know this. I speak this language.
one jug of cream, please.
Yes.
Go ahead, finish your thought.
But Ford says, Arnold says, I'm not playing favorite. She's simply not ready.
Right.
So Arnold acknowledges to Ford that this is potentially one of his favorites. Ford knows it. It's no secret.
Yeah.
So that kind of speaks again. Is it his favorite because it's his first creation? Or is there some deeper connection there that Ford knows, that Arnold knows, that we just don't know?
Right. I think it's probably a lot of that. You know, everybody loves their first. You know, that's why I still cuddle up with my Sega Genesis when I go to bed at night. We'll go with the other. Okay, so they have someone else, and there's Ford. There's a reflection. I just love the young Anthony Hopkins. Do you think it's weird for him as the old? Do you think he watches the show? I bet he doesn't. I bet Anthony Hopkins hasn't watched a thing he's been in about 45 years.
I get the impression he probably doesn't.
He seems
but
like
I
a
know
guy
that he
would
does watch television, because I know that he watched Breaking Bad, the entirety of it, and he called the Bryan Cranston and said that was the finest acting I've ever seen in my life.
That was the finest acting I've ever seen in my life, and you may now sleep. And then Bryan Cranston's like, why are you doing that? What's wrong with you?
Say my name.
Get out of here, Jesse.
I am the one who knocks.
Anthony. I am the one who invents robots. Okay.
So he says, we'll go with the other girl, so we don't really know who the host is. Maybe it's the Angela host. We don't know.
Could be Clementine.
Could be Clementine.
Yeah,
could be anyone.
Sure.
Could be Maeve. I think Maeve was a little bit later model.
I think Maeve came up a little later. Okay.
Even though we did see her in the early shots of the park learning to dance and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at you. Good memory. So, boom. All right. Let's go for a walk. We've got some shit to show you. So now we're wandering around city. You know, got sirens in the distance. Boy, that is the defining characteristic of all city life.
And someone must recognize that cityscape. So
I guarantee
please
it.
Tell us.
We could probably find out right now if we wanted to. But I like not knowing because it reminds me of me. Ignorant. They walk down. I was watching her acting down the steps, and I have to respect and appreciate, first of all, high heels, but she's sort of doing a robotic. It was good. It was just like, I think Evan Rachel Wood is being asked to do all kinds of real subtle acting.
I mean, she's not getting the Oscar she deserves, the Emmys. I mean, where is it? Come on, people.
She's going to get it when they're done. It's going to be a body of work award. So
Bullcrap.
Westworld's final season will be like when Lord of the Rings won everything that 1 year. That's my prediction. Anyway, so they're walking.
I'm a little disappointed because you missed something here. And it was something I wanted to point out. And I think this guy in the frame right here was blocking it. Or maybe I'm just missing.
I think it was. Yes.
It appeared to be, and forgive my ignorance here, I don't know different languages very well, but it looks to be Chinese characters on the wall.
Yeah.
Which serves to reason
there was like
that
like back here behind.
Right. That they're going before Chinese investors, that Westworld is on an island. It is in Chinese waters. It is, that all that stuff that I was thinking wasn't completely confirmed in the last episode.
Right.
This is direct evidence that supports that it is.
Yes, not that it's impossible to find Chinese or Asian characters in
No.
other countries or something, but it did seem like it does a very Chinese.
And now it's going to turn out that's Japanese or that's Korean, and I'm going to look like a complete
I don't
idiot.
think it was Korean. Korean's pretty distinctive.
I
took a week of Japanese until my dad talked me out of it because he's like, you're not going to fucking learn it in a semester. And I was like, yeah, that's right. Good call, Dad.
I really wish I was better about it, but I should study it a little bit more. And
they're really amazing. Like those languages are incredibly difficult. They're cool. I love them, but it's like whoa.
Yeah,
whoa.
not to get too far off topic, but a guy I work with has learned this art form where you actually write someone's name. It's called like square form or something like that, but it looks like Asian writing. But if you know how to read it and identify the letters, you can easily, within about 2 minutes of training, read your name in it.
Like English characters.
Yes,
that
English
emerge.
characters that are drawn in such a way and in such positions that it looks like something more intricate.
Boy,
it's really cool.
I hope we can get laid off that.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of one with my name on it, and we can, maybe use it. At some
Send
point.
one with my name.
Hank. Hey, I've got Twitter. I can put it on Twitter.
Yeah, put it on Twitter.
Hey.
James, this is the first time you've ever brought up Twitter. James hates Twitter, everybody, so go on Twitter and tell me.
I finally have a reason to use it.
Yes, finally. So anyway, here she is experiencing this whole thing for her first time.
And she gets hit by a car.
A bus comes out of nowhere. It's actually Final Destination.
It's coming, and she's like, that doesn't look like anything to me.
Have you ever seen so much split?
She doesn't tell him because she can't see it. She's not supposed to see buses.
Yes, and she immediately, by the way, I thought this car looked really fancy. I had a feeling this was like future car, that they obviously put it there for kind of advance the world.
And we know, again, based on a comment that we saw in the past video, is that in the current time span, the year is like 2052 or something.
Right.
But in this one, you have to deduct like 30, 40 years off of that, because that was the year in the present, and we know this is in the past.
Right.
And we know the age difference in William, the age difference in Ford, is about 30, 40 years.
Something along those lines, yeah. But so he's walking into his house, or maybe a house, but my future home, he says, right?
It looks like a dog kennel.
It's obviously under construction. He's got all the trademarks of construction going on. And I'm sure there's some significance to this, brick style.
Yeah, we see it all over the place
they
when
show
he's in
it
there.
a lot. I'm sure it's grounded in some sort of historic archaeology, but I don't know what it is. But he goes in, it's this massive courtyard, and this is not cheap real estate. I mean,
No, he says life has been good to me.
Yeah, exactly.
And this was the shot from the trailer where it shows him and that look on his face, the way he looks at her, taking in the wonder of what's around him, and that joy on his face, the happiness. There is no way this woman, this host, is not someone he knows.
Sure. Agreed. And
that alone.
There's also that thing with children. Like
Yeah.
I mean, I can take kids can fuck right off. I can only handle them for a couple hours. But people do like experiencing things with kids because you get to kind of like see it for the first time with kids.
And it's kind of like why I love watching people play video games that I love that they haven't played before. It's seeing someone experience that for the first time, that joy. Watching people do VR for the first time, all that kind of stuff is sort of like the same thing. You know something is special and you want to share it with other people. Yeah. And to see them enjoy it and appreciate it kind of brings you back to when you first appreciated it.
Totally. Like that time I went with my parents to their first orgy. They became swingers after watching the movie Swingers, starring...
Okay, big line here. My wife says, not said, says, I live in the park.
Oh, look at you catching shit.
So we know at this point Charlie, his son, is still alive. We presume his wife is still around, but... Fortunately, the house is still in construction. There's no family photos on the wall. There's no pictures. There's nothing that leads us to... I mean, how creepy would it be if it's like, hello, wife, I brought my other wife. Look at my robot wife.
She's prettier than you and she'll never age.
Yes. She never asks for money.
So, hey, how's your hot robot business going, you bastard? But anyway, I'm sure...
So it'll be really awkward. So basically says he wants to build a house here because his wife says he lives in the park and he wants to bring his family to the park so they're not so far away.
Right.
So what this tells us is the park the park already exists. They're looking for additional investments. I'm guessing it's got to be in the China area because he built the house here, which means it's close to the park. So all the dots connect.
Yes, and when we find out what city that is, it'll make even more sense. And who knows how far away it is from the city.
I'm thinking it's most likely Wichita, Kansas.
I was going Topeka.
Yeah,
and a tornado comes by and like destroys all the schools or something. Okay, so the water, big city. God, I'm just thinking Hong Kong. Who knows. But yeah, it's interesting, and he's got a lot of money. This kind of property doesn't go cheap. So. She's kind of overwhelmed going through her increasing emotional things, like when Data in Star Wars or Star Trek has a laugh or something. Maybe they don't. And I'm not sure. I don't remember what she's talking about, this courage business here, but something about courage. Yeah. So she's got her kind of.
She's saying some profound stuff.
But it's done in that programmed wisdom kind of way. Like, the sun always warms you up in the morning.
But I think right now he's kind of enamored by that. He's proud of what she's saying because she's coming through authentic. She's coming through as a rational thinking person.
Right. And
but he did say a good line right there if you go back a little bit.
Right.
But sometimes I think we're simply not the ones who deserve it. So this is sort of like a precursor to his intentions in the future of releasing them, of freeing them, of saying this world belongs to you, not to us. You appreciate this more than we do.
Did Arnold have an intention to cause the rebellion?
Absolutely. He didn't want the park to open. He saw these as real life, live breathing people who need to be protected and not exploited.
And it's a lesson we could all learn, is not to take everything for granted. Every once in a while, stop, look around, and be like, wow, look at all these birds. Birds are pretty cool. Until they poop. One of them pooped on my neck once, and I thought someone threw warm oatmeal at me. But then I realized a bird had pooped on me. So I murdered 18 seagulls that day with a packet of Tums. Jeez. I did not get revenge, unfortunately. It looks like the stars have been scattered.
And this is a really important part, because have you ever been playing a video game? And I always go back to video games because that's kind of my point of reference. That's my cornerstone.
Same here. And this show is sort of a big video game world simulator.
But have you ever been playing a game that is so immersive that you're lost in the world and you believe it? Like The Witcher 3. And you're playing it, everything's amazing, you're like, oh, I feel like I am Geralt of Rivia, and then all of a sudden your horse starts walking by on two legs, glitching into the sky. It's like, oh, that just broke my immersion, the spell is broken, now that just ruined everything. She repeats a line here, and I think that does that for him. He realizes at this moment, I'm not speaking to the person that I once knew, I'm not speaking to, something amazing. This is, this is a glitch.
This is maybe... I like your glitch analogy, but you could even say it's kind of like in a video game, an NPC, a non-player character for non.
Where they repeat lines where you talk to them too much.
Boy, sure is going to be lots of dragons flying around today.
I used to be an adventurer like you until I took an arrow to the knee. Famous Skyrim.
Is that actually a real line?
Oh my god, yes. The most famous one ever.
Making up lines.
Is this like a huge meme?
Yeah, and then they go like, say exactly the same thing a couple minutes later or something. Wish I could find my daughter. She's at the bottom of the well.
The worst part is when you're playing like one of those text-based games and you hit X to talk or A to talk to someone, and they have this huge long dialogue thing, and you don't realize, you're like, well, do I talk to them again? And then it starts repeating, you're like, oh god, go.
Yeah, that's what it was like when I used to date my Commodore 64. See, I couldn't come up. I was thinking about come up with a good one. Oh, when I used to date the here it goes. Yeah, that's what it was like when I used to date the Chuck E. Cheese band. Perfect, fucking nailed it. All right, we should go, Dolores. So they gotta go.
Yeah. And what do you think like the iconography of those crosses in the brick are? We didn't really talk about that, but that does come up a couple of times. It's in every single thing, and he touches it at one point, and he references Charlie.
Oh.
He says, we're building this for Charlie.
Yeah, he does talk about Charlie. I don't know. I mean, I don't...
Like, you said it's going to come back again. We'll see a little bit more when it's more fully constructed. I'm sure we will. But... My bet, I don't think it has any kind of Christian cross sort of relation thing. I think it's because it's a red cross. It's not a off cross. It's just two things. I bet it's got roots in a deeper Asian culture somewhere. That's just my guess. Well, he was just a huge fan of Audition.
Yeah, it's just this Audition. It's got a bunch of minuses. All right, so anyway, they take another look and like, wow, what a cool city. And then finally we have the opening sequence.
Yeah, buffalo falls from the sky.
Buffalo falls from the sky. The buffalo pooping on you is even worse than a seagull. I hit the button there I was trying to get the cowboy hat, but I got the buffalo.
Yeah.
Dope. By the way, this is a cowboy hat.
Yeah, it looks like a solar eclipse or something, but it is a black hat rising up in water.
Yeah, and by the way, let me say one of my hacky bits that I've said over and over. J.J. Abrams stands for Jar Jar Binks Abrams. I'll say that again, by the way. I fucking love saying that out loud. So we come into, Sector 19. I didn't catch that. So I didn't realize this guy had made it out. This is one of the guys from last episode.
Well, yeah, this was the guy that they let run away.
I forgot to block the titties, James. Damn it. I'll do it in Premiere when I have to. Guys, sorry. Okay, so you want me to back up? What are we looking at?
So, So the guy that we see up here in this scene is the guy that was allowed to flee.
Yeah. I'm backing up here. Yeah. The guy that looks like the Home Alone father.
Yeah, and the whole point was, and someone made a really good point in season 1, is like, yeah, they shot the woman, but they let him run. Why do they let him run? Because he's going to lead them right to where they want to go. And, lo and behold, he does.
Yeah, and he's like, you idiots, they're killing everybody out here. Because he's just sort of like a processing crew. They're just kind of like, man, real busy today, huh? And then like, no, it's actually a huge problem. Things are going crazy. So
not every part of the park is rebelling. It's a localized thing that started at the gala where Dr. Ford got killed. So there are parts of the park where people are still kind of running their loops, playing out their story, but they're still a little bit untethered.
And there's still employees that haven't been looped into this calamity. So this is
You'd think there'd be a protocol for that.
Yeah, like raise red alert.
Oh, and one thing we haven't mentioned yet in season 1 is that we haven't seen Armistice.
Oh yeah.
Remember she got her arm stuck in the door and everything? I was kind of expecting to see her come back, but I guess she got taken down, which is disappointing.
I would be checking the local tattoo parlors or snake parlors. So anyway, we got a slaughter going on, remote refurbishment outpost. Okay, that's cool. And this guy's like, oh, what? And then all of a sudden,
the salad bowl on his head.
With the salad bowl. It's actually the salad buffet guard sneeze guard. Wow, what a great idea. Why put the sneeze guard on the outside when you could just wear it and then you sneeze in?
Or everyone wears space helmets.
How do astronauts deal with sneezing?
I'm sure it's very disorienting.
Do they have, like, curved wipers?
That would be... You're stuck out in space in a vacuum in the most dangerous terrain in the world, and then you
blast a
loop. Don't say it.
Blast a loop.
Don't say it.
That's too much for you to handle?
I can take a lot of gross stuff, but that just... Something about that sticks in my...
that's interesting. I bet you got spit on as a kid.
Probably, yeah. We'll get into the psychology.
I grew up around a bunch of savages. I got spit on a couple times. So. And then I spit at my brother once, and I fucking deserved it.
That's the one thing.
All right. Wow, you're having an interesting reaction.
You a feet thing, I've
all the
insane
insane things I say, and that's the one that you're drawing a line on.
Everyone's got their weird things.
All right. Well, wait till I tell you about my parents' orgy habits.
All right, moving on. All right, so as we speculated, and as the eagle-eyed person on the last episodes told us, They let the person run so they could follow them, and lo and behold, here they are.
I like that idea.
Plan worked.
I was wondering how they figured out that out. I didn't put that together at all because I'm dense. Oh no, shit! And so they walk in and they start, taking over. This is that Angela? Yeah. So in this scene though, it's Teddy's first time kind of having the veil lifted. Although there was times where Maeve was there, but she saw Teddy's body.
Right, but now
in those, like,
this is Teddy's
rooms.
awakening. This is his hazing. Here's the opening of the real world. Here's what's going on. Because he has seen things like this before, but he's been reset. Remember the time he woke up and he was like in the room? And
that's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, so this is not new to him, but it is new to him because he's been reset since the last time he realized it.
Right. There might be some image on his hard drive, but it's been deleted. But can we count on this to? I guess if it doesn't get erased, because I've been thinking about this whole episode. Well, like Dolores has sort of reached a state of consciousness and awareness that seems to be above everybody else. But can we expect Teddy to join her there, or will his loyalty just keep him around?
The problem is that Arnold loved Dolores enough to give her like a solid state terabyte hard drive.
She's got extra hardware.
Yeah, and poor Teddy's got like a 10 megabyte memory.
He's got 7,200 RPM drive.
Yeah, he just once it fills up, he just dumps it and then starts over again.
56K baud.
He's Guy Pearce Memento all over again. But no, I think they both are rocking the same hardware. I think they both have the same capacity to awaken, to learn.
Sure.
But he just hasn't had the opportunity to go through that yet. He's been a very consistent, very by the book narrative guy.
Yeah.
And now suddenly he's having the veil ripped away and he's going through the revelation.
Yes, which must be kind of overwhelming, I would imagine. I get overwhelmed by just making my bed and doing laundry. So this must be horrible for this guy. And anyway, there he is. Oh man, my suit. This is a rental. You're rich when your tuxes aren't rentals.
Yeah.
Or I haven't worn. I think I wore a tuxedo once. All right, to judge. Yeah. So she's basically just saying all kinds of crazy stuff here, right?
Yeah, she was basically saying that this place was made.
You guys made this.
Yeah, you made this so that you wouldn't be judged for
Yeah.
what you do to us. But now here, there's no one around to judge me for what I'm about to do to you.
Yeah. And he's like, lady, you have not heard of the Chinese and American militaries.
Yeah.
Because they will fuck you up. And I think he's right.
Well, yeah, he is. But he says that there's like 500 to 800 people that are going to come after you,
Right.
I think.
He says,
Well, actually, he doesn't say that. Someone else tells them that in the next couple of scenes.
we learn that. We get that information later.
But she's like, I'm not afraid of that. I've been to the outside world. I know what's out there. It's pretty lights and stars on the ground. And I'm not afraid of those ground stars.
You think I'm worried about construction material with cool, maybe possibly Asian origin architecture blocks?
So I think she thinks she knows what's out there, but I don't think she really knows what's out there.
She's like, yeah, buddy, I've heard of pianos, okay?
Yeah.
I know how to play Gershwin. And like, no, we're talking about like really sophisticated weapons. And so I don't know. I'm not a big on like the military being a powerful guy. Like, I'm more for peace type of guy, one of those, but the military will fuck you up.
Oh, yeah,
We've gotten good at with the blowing you up from far away part of this business.
Yeah. Our basic community cops will F you up.
Yes, but however, though, the military response here has to be delicate. They can't just blow it up. You know what I mean? There's too much intellectual property. That's the whole point, is that they have all this value that they have to protect. So it is going to be a delicate operation, but nevertheless, the robots are in for a good fight, which is why it's going to be a great season.
And
so
interesting, there's some of the plus signs are see-through.
What? Oh, right here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. See-through plus signs. Oh, yeah. This one's not. Whoa. Wow. No, I've seen everything. Anyway, Evan Rachel Wood, great actor. Cool. Speaking of great actors, that's somebody. That's a person.
So she's touching the sweat on his face,
right.
and remembering the touching of the condensation or the texture of the plus sign. I'll keep calling it the plus sign.
Sure, plus sign works. I like it. What do you think she's making out of this
I don't know.
Touching it.
It's almost as though you come from the real world. You are real. This is my memory of interacting with the real world. You are from this place. I'm connecting the two. Maybe, I don't know.
Is she just thinking, meaning like she's looking at it going, okay, he's scared, sweat means they're scared.
It could be that too.
Or is she
processing.
absorbing data? Is she like testing it? Like she's got like,
You think she maybe like touch it to her tongue or something?
Yeah. she licks it like a...
Your fear is delicious.
like a 70s cop where they like taste the cocaine to see if their tongue gets numb. I'm glad she didn't lick his... I hate when people lick each other's faces in movies and stuff. It's not... I don't even like that in porn. off they go, music playing. So then we turn out to we're in a swanky kind of fancy looking place, and Logan is a confident, rich guy here.
Yeah.
He's sort of in his prime, I would say. In this, he's being entertained. He talks about how not entertained. I'm saying he's being courted for other investments. He's a very wealthy guy, and he kind of states that he's been tasked by his father with sort of deciding where to put more money into invest stuff. Right. So he's got a lot of power.
And I don't think at this point in time, I think this is pre-Westworld investment. I don't think it's even a thing yet.
Oh,
he's still he's a rich guy because he's the son of James Delos. He's Logan Delos. He has a ton of money. He has a ton of business experience. Yes, he has a ton of potential. But Westworld is not falling into his lap yet.
Right, and actually, speaking of that, this is the moment that it comes into his lap. So we have Angela walking up with another person, and they're obviously together here. So did you think this was Flesh Angela or Robot Angela?
I thought this was the original Flesh Angela, and that these were business partners, and the man basically takes the point. He walks ahead, he introduces, he's the driver of the conversation.
Right, calls him Mr. Delos, and forgive the interruption, but we have an appointment, and one of them, I'm pretty sure I didn't get a screenshot of it.
Okay, so you got to go back to that. We're with the Argos Initiative. So this is huge because we know that Delos invests in something. They are not the ones that created Westworld. They're not the owners of the IP. So this tells us that if there are hosts that already exist, and we don't know at this point whether Angela's a host or if it's the real Angela, but we do know that the Argos Initiative must be the company that Arnold and Dr. Ford are with.
Okay.
Because they're the masterminds behind the creation of the behavioral technology that brings the host to life.
Okay. All right.
So we finally have a name. It's Argos. They're the ones that started everything.
Do you think Argo is from Arnold, A-R, go, robots go, GoBots, GoBots, Argobots.
I'm trying to O-R-G-A-S, Orgos.
Well,
Orgos.
Because sometimes companies will combine names. It should just be like R Bob, R Robert, but they got goes. So who knows? I think I'm onto something. But one of them says that I don't think I got a screenshot of it. Damn it! But they talk about I think maybe even Logan is I'm getting or AR, VR, all this new technology.
Well, yeah, he says everyone wants my money. Everyone's coming in wanting to invest because then they have all these great things. And you're right. They said, augmented reality, virtual reality.
And one other one I don't remember.
Yeah, and this guy basically says, I can do one better.
Yeah. Akecheta, is that his name? Is that what's going on there?
Yeah, maybe.
If I have expected to be kidnapped by, I don't know. It's a little extra protection for your investment. What the fuck are they talking about, James?
Well, when you take little words and phrases out of context,
I know.
Hard.
Well, my memory's
You don't have to read everything on the screen.
Well, but I read it, and I don't remember what was said before it. And some of these shots, too, are the guy off screen is talking because the subtitle lingers a little bit. So, anyway, he's basically saying, I haven't decided yet, but if I do, but there's the virtual world, but we're offering something a little more tangible. Which is intriguing. Oh, really? Huh? I would actually rather go in with real flesh robots instead of virtual reality robots. What do you think, James?
Not creepy at all.
Yeah, it's super weird. Actually, I think the whole concept is fucking crazy.
I really don't like the idea that you have your live doll, your real doll, in the corner.
Me?
Yeah.
Am I supposed to play along with this?
I'm pretending that you have a real doll.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Look at that real doll.
Never mind. The one time I try and improv, you make me sound stupid.
Shut the fuck up.
How dare you?
Shut up. Get down. That sounded violent. I didn't mean it to be so violent. I would go to a park and I want people to get along. I don't have, I'd like to have sex. That sounds great. But even with robots, that doesn't work. I need to know they want to bang, but I don't know, the violence and everything. But then again, I play video games and it's very violent. So
that little thing is going to drive people crazy.
What? Oh, that guy right there? Sorry, guys. And sometimes I leave the mouse and I don't mean to.
Oh, it drives me nuts.
That drives me nuts too, but there's a lot going on in my head right now, so I forget that I do that sometimes. So anyway, I'm rambling a lot. So anyway, he's like, oh boy, investing, huh? And she's like, yeah, well, we got this new thing and it's going to be pretty cool. And look at me, I'm hot. That's probably interesting to you too. If these two looked like you and me, not them, she's more attractive than you. Sorry.
How dare you?
Sorry, buddy. The chance of investing would be less. That's why my career as a car show model didn't go well. I spent 18 years doing it, and I barely ever got paid.
I'm a foot model.
For Ninja
for
Turtles.
horror movies. Yeah.
For horror movies.
We need the most disgusting foot to come down on camera.
Yeah, you could do it. Your feet are fine. I like your feet. You know what? They get you around, James.
Yes.
That's right. Anyway, so then they bring him, and so it's like this shows that he's like interested. This is a new location, is my point.
Well, what they essentially say is he said, I thought this was going to be a private affair. And they said, this is a private affair.
Right.
And he starts putting two and two together. He's like, wait a minute. So you're telling me that in this group of people, there is a host.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, the game is already, it's already begun. Go and find the host. See if you can sniff out who amongst these people is a host.
And now he's super into it. And it's a great sales technique, I think. Like, to get the guy excited. It's kind of like an escape room, but not even
Here is a knife. Go find the host.
It just starts gashing.
I found him.
Oh, this one wasn't a host. No, so I would be... This is an amazing idea, though. Like what an interesting thing to, like, go to a party. One of these people is fake. Talk to everybody, try to figure out who it is.
Come out to Los Angeles. Everyone's fake.
That's why we fit in so well. No,
if I were him, I'd run to the piano and go, This is the host.
Exactly.
I found it. I'd be in the kitchen, the microwave. Look.
You'd be looking at your reflection in the microwave going, wow.
A digital clock.
Hey, wow, 12 o'clock over and over, huh?
This is my loop.
Yeah, so that is... oh, yeah, good. Sucks teeth.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
It's just funny that they...
Yeah,
that hurts?
That's part of the thing I hate.
Wow, I never knew you had this
really
whole
hate
thing.
that.
No wonder you
drives me crazy.
No wonder you take such big bites. James takes the biggest bites, guys. He eats a burrito in about 4 bites. It's fucking crazy. It's like, dude, slow down, man.
Now I want my
Enjoy
other
it.
burrito.
So
he's kind of eyeballing this guy.
Yeah.
The guy's kind of looking at him like, are you crazy or not? I don't know.
I recognize this guy, though. We saw him before.
Yes, we do see this person again.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why we see that much camera. Just kind of remember his face.
Yes, that face is, it's not an accident that he was in the shot. So, but, good-looking people, nice party, fancy shit. Everybody's looking, doing their thing. He's wandering around. He sees a guy checking his glasses. That's an obvious... No host is going to need glasses. That would be crazy. Of course, I think he's probably holding it similarly to how Bernard cleans his glasses. People seem to like Bernard's glasses a lot, on the internet. You should tell your plants to stop giving the game away. So is that referring to the glasses guy? Like saying, hey, you figured out that guy's obviously real because he's got glasses.
Right. Well, he's basically saying that the people that they planted around there are painfully human. They're not making it hard on me. They're making it obvious that they're human.
And then he spots Angela standing like a mannequin.
Yeah, that kind of gives it away a little bit.
She's not moving her arms at all, standing all still, weird looking. But then he's like, whoa, it's you. You're the robot. Wow, this is incredible. I had no idea. He's pretty blown away. She's attractive, and then he's like, "Oh man, is this where he says I'd like to try all the goods or take this all?"
Well, yeah, we kind of know he goes both ways because from season 1 we found that out, and at the beginning of the scene he was talking to the guy next to him and kind of flirting with him about the Andy Warhol painting.
Yes, a little. Yeah, there was that, but I'm not even referring to that right now because when he and William first step off the train in season 1, he is greeted by 2 hosts. William gets Angela, actually, but he's greeted by a man and a woman. So he's probably bisexual, which is totally okay. Everybody's good with that. And we'll see how much that develops as the story goes along. But he immediately jumps to like, well, now we have to bang. Like, that's a little bit of a leap. I know he's an entitled rich guy.
Well,
but,
yeah, I mean, he's a jerk.
Yeah, I guess
he's an immature rich boy.
Right, but... Would you really? Yeah, I suppose. I mean, I'd be like, so you have to drop a hint. You got to go. So
Well, he thinks he thinks she's a host now. He doesn't look at this and see a human being.
Yeah, but I don't see an animatronic Minnie Mouse and immediately be like, oh, what? I can't wait to bang it.
Well, that doesn't look like Angela.
Minnie Mouse is very attractive. How dare you? How dare you? Those ears? Do you have any idea what kind of noises those things can pick up?
I'm more into the Steamboat Willie era. I'm not into this modern stuff. That's when they were real.
Okay, all right. So whatever. It's fine.
And this is a lie. Bald is not a win.
That is true. I'm bald and I'm a huge winner. That's not true at all.
No.
If I ever get to design pianos, they're going to be called bald losers.
I would say bald is a win because it makes your life easier, and you would disagree with that.
No,
moving on.
Why would I disagree with that? Baldness does make you. You know how much I spend on my haircuts? I spend about $25 every 10 or 12 years.
Nice.
Because I buy new clippers after they wear out. And although I have gotten sunburns on my head so horrifying that I've had to hide my face in shame from people.
If you live long enough, you'll always be bald.
I have a great scalp.
Everyone's going to be there.
Yep. Well, all skeletons are bald. So
yes.
Guess what, everybody? You're all bald. All right. Welcome to the party. It's just fun to touch. So you want to touch my head?
That's okay.
Want to touch it? You ever touch a bald head?
I'm good.
The hair actually is kind of fun.
Yeah.
I've had people touch the hair on the side and be like, "Oh my god, it's real hair." I'm like, "Yeah, what the fuck? It's just gone on the top."
So this is a really key moment here where she flips the tables on him again.
Oh, yeah.
And all of a sudden, the man that he's talking to, the one that he presumes is the real person in the room along with everyone else, freezes in place. Everyone freezes except for him, obviously, and
Right.
Angela. So it now calls in question, is Angela real? Is she a host? Is she the real one? Welcome to Westworld. So here's the thing that kind of threw me for a loop.
Okay.
And I think I understand where I was going wrong with this now, is that this is pre-Delos integration. This Westworld already exists. There's already a park.
Yeah.
They just don't have investors yet. So I was thinking back to the original season 1 scenes where they were teaching them to dance and they were kind of like dropping things and they were all out of sequence and they were the original, metal frames.
Kind of awkward. Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't anywhere near as advanced as this. But
Right.
it seems to me that what happened here is that this is the final polished product that they're marketing out to investors before the official launch of the park. They've got a lot of the kinks out, and they're much more intricate than they were in the early pre-park days with young Ford and young Arnold.
Okay, so when Arnold came, or when young Ford came in to get Bernard, to get Arnold, and he says, "We'll go with the other girl." That's the screenshot I'm looking for right now. Do you think that's what they're referring to?
It's possible.
That she's the other girl, and
it's very possible. I
Yeah.
don't know for a fact, but it's very possible. I
Yeah.
think you're probably onto something too, because we know this is the same time span. This is Logan. Obviously, Logan would be around the age of Ed Harris now if this were in the present. This is in the past. This is, like I said, pre-Delos. So I believe you're probably right there. And you can also see that they're kind of dressed in a similar fashion. Not the same dress, but the same color and...
Yes, this shot. So yeah, I would imagine that this was Dolores would have been on this duty.
Yeah.
But they had Angela instead because Dolores wasn't ready.
And Dolores was not as strong a personality. She wasn't as forceful. She wasn't as charismatic. She was more like a wide-eyed wonder girl in the city for the first time.
Yes, when you wanted someone looking at you like that.
Yeah, that's who you need.
Yeah, you go, yes, I'll buy whatever you want, whatever the fuck you're selling. Are you kidding? Keep looking at me.
Yeah, you don't want someone to walk in and just start dropping cans of milk everywhere.
Yes. Darwin gets a boner when a woman like that looks at you. Mm-hmm. Is that inappropriate?
I have no idea what you mean by that.
Evolution. I'm saying we're honed. Evolution has honed people's what makes them attracted to. And not that we're all the same either, by the way.
I thought Darwin was just into turtles.
Darwin gets very horny for turtles and finches. Okay.
He was shocked by that one. Like, what did you say?
Whoa, this is easy. So anyway, yeah, sounds good.
Another indication that Westworld existed before Delos. It was the creation of Argos.
Yeah.
And Delos is just the money guy behind it, which is kind of interesting because why is it called a Delos corporation? Why have we not seen Argos before? Did Delos kind of crush Argos below their heel? I mean, did they kind of wipe him out? Why has Dr. Ford never mentioned that before? What does it stand for, like you said? Is it Arnold and something else?
Well, if they're a subsidiary of Delos, they could lose their... I mean, they might not... you can either keep them a separate entity, although a sub-company under a parent company, or you change their name to Delos too.
You think it would have come up at some point, but I guess
yeah,
not.
You never know. Yeah, it's hard to say. Like McDonald's owns Chipotle.
I know.
Yeah. Well, really, you knew that?
Of course.
Fuck! I thought I had one up on James. God damn it. All right. So then, speaking of people, Clementine.
Oh, my darling Clementine.
That's right. She's playing the piano. Player piano. Kurt Vonnegut. Look it up. This guy's even frozen.
Yeah, which was one of the big reveals. Is like, holy crap! The guy that was selling this to me.
They made it seem like he was the primary.
Yeah, that he was the one who was initiating the conversation, and that she was secondary. That she was potentially the host that was being shown off. But it's completely the opposite.
That's right. Yeah, it was very, very interesting. So he's like, "Man, this is weird. Wow!" And looking at them all, and it's like being at a mannequin factory. So there she's like, "This is us. We got it." Mr. Delos, let's do it.
So what he's saying is like, this is impossible. We're not here yet. And when he says we're not here yet, he's talking about the technology that makes something like this possible. And she's like, oh, I assure you, Mr. Delos, we are here.
Yeah. And let me show you.
Great sales pitch.
Let's fire up the old hard drive. Mm-hmm. And the, what do you put a hard drive into? Processor, the SATA connection, SATA.
Display port.
Some people are probably like, what the fuck are they talking about? And then some are like, oh, I know what SATA chords are. So they kiss and they have a nice little moment. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never kissed a robot. I've kissed some. Okay.
If you really want one-time offer, you can kiss my Roomba.
All right, I'll do it. As long as we can get your hair out of it first. No, Why isn't the room? Isn't that how it picks up stuff off the ground? It licks the ground.
Yeah, it thinks my hair is delicious.
Yeah, I do too.
Puts a little sriracha on it.
Yep. So anyway, speaking of testing out the goods, we had a nice little group session here. This is that looks like Logan. You know, when you're a billionaire guy, son, handsome dude, you do orgy banging.
Yeah.
And you got a lady there, you got a guy, you got a lady there,
and now we know that the pitch that was done for this is presumably in the same hotel that Arnold is staying at, because Dolores is walking in on them.
Yeah, there's.
I don't know why she's walking in on them.
Have you ever seen so much splendor?
Yes, splendor everywhere. The splendor's on my shoe.
Why is splendor dripping? Sorry,
you made it worse.
I didn't. Sorry. Boy, I'm going to be busy at church this weekend. Speaking of church,
so now do you think?
God, yeah.
Do you think that Angela's a host in this scene?
Yeah, I think Angela is Dolores's co-worker.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're both like but that's what I was saying. Bernard said she wasn't, or Arnold said she wasn't ready, so they held her back. I think.
Wouldn't it be just great if they just stared at each other and opened their mouths and just yelled "data transfer"?
Just like
and a beam comes out. Download complete.
Yes, yeah. One of them freezes up, gets Windows 10.
Yeah.
They get a half-hour Windows 10 forced update.
Her eyes turn to blue screens.
And then a Bill Gates robot walks out and is like, "Hi, it's me. I will bang you." That guy's had sex, Bill Gates.
Oh, he has children. Yes.
Yeah.
They're probably hosts though.
Yeah, probably.
He never let his children have televisions.
What?
He never let him like Apple products either. He made him use Zunes.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
You know, Zunes are, they're an underappreciated.
I think they were.
They're terrible.
Yeah.
Zunes are horrible.
They came out in brown colors. No, you could go on like Woot.com and get refurbished Zunes in like a doo-doo brown color for dirt cheap.
There's nothing grosser than brown plastic.
Yeah.
Like what are you, a peanut butter lid? Mm-hmm. That's actually the only appropriate use of brown plastic I can think of, or fake poop. Anyway, hey Dolores, how you doing? Hey, good day at the office. So Blade entering. I like how that's a sound, like as if someone is.
I mean, that's pretty much like you can put those subtitles in any episode of ER.
I'm doing it. That's Blade entering flesh. Man grows. Why is that so? This really does tell a story, doesn't it? Yeah. We're now at a new scene here, and it's Angela.
This is present day Angela to show how far she's come.
Putting away a knife.
And this is the guy from the behavioral type thing. He was the guy in the fixer-upper type thing. You know, he's an all black, so he's management kind of.
Oh, this guy here, yeah. He was sort of like the. He seems like this guy's supervisor or something.
Yeah.
Because he was kind of not.
Because he's doing nothing.
Yeah, because he was. Yeah, you could tell he's the boss because he wasn't working.
Yeah.
Well, somebody being paid less was doing the work. Mm-hmm. That's how this system works. So anyway, well, a lot of gross, terrible shit I had to block out of there, which I did, and it's good. I feel like I'm a hero, except for the violence.
These violent delights.
Yep.
It's like Teddy going to a kennel. He's like, I want that one. I want this one. Can we have this one, Mommy?
It's like Jeffrey Dahmer going to a kennel.
Yeah.
Anyway, so Teddy is still taking it all in. She's like, all right, well, let's make it worse. So show him all the ways he's been murdered and stuff.
Like, here's your browser history, Teddy. No, I can't look.
Bowser history. That'd be a great name for a Nintendo channel.
Actually, yes, it would.
Thanks for agreeing. I'm always looking at this stuff. I always find it interesting. I'm not sure what details there are here to be injuries, locations, incidences, damages, something, neural loops.
Yes.
Obviously Fruit Loops.
Yep. So we know that Teddy is basically designed to be a low-level, entry-level person who just about every single person who comes in the park encounters him, which means that the rate at which he gets killed is much, much, much quicker. He's sort of like in Far Cry 5 or any sort of game. He's like the first NPC you come along that you can recruit to be your companion. Yeah. And inevitably, if some crap's going to go down, he's going to be the one to take the bullet.
He's going to take a lot of hits.
So he gets killed a lot.
Yes. They do. He does take quite a lot of murders to him. So he's taking it all in though, going, "Oh man, this is weird. This is your life." But it's except all the times you've been killed.
No, that's just his Instagram page.
That's like my Instagram. Yeah. So yeah, weird day. You think these are all each one of these is a different death? Is that like
I'm sure
files? Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm sure every single time he comes in, they got to log it. So I'm sure those are the photos.
Yeah. Poor Teddy, poor guy. Oh man, I'm too handsome to be dead all the time. Oh geez. Oh. So yeah, rough days for old Teddy.
So he's
Teddy
kind of
Bear.
freaking out at this point. He doesn't really know. He's looking at the technician. He doesn't realize that this guy is a low-level technician, that he's not the architect behind all of this.
Yeah.
So he's freaking out. It's like, why do you do this? Why do you do this? And he starts choking the guy out.
This is like the equivalent of if you wake up on a spaceship and aliens are taking your pants off and you just start beating up the first one you find.
Yeah.
That guy is just the tech alien. You know, the
Yeah.
boss aliens are up in some freaking weird mud bath.
No, he was just the one emptying the trash can, but then he got curious.
yeah, he wasn't supposed to be.
No.
Probe. Ooh, human genitals. Why are the aliens so obsessed with our butts?
Because they're not real and because people make this crap up.
I disagree.
And people are obsessed with their own butts.
I'll tell you why. Because poop is the TPS report of the body. It's a way of having information come out of your body. It's why you look at the poop after you poop.
Did you know there's a system at my workplace that we designed, built from the ground up, and we called it TPS. And we have a little toilet paper icon that is the icon that we launched.
What?
And it's our main department system.
Did you know that Mike Judge follows me on Twitter?
Okay.
Are you struggling to understand why those are connected?
Yes.
He directed Office Space.
Oh,
You made that movie.
there you go.
Yeah, he came up with TPS reports. I'm assuming he wrote it. I wish he would hire me for someone, would do something. Mike Judge is like my fucking hero. I hope he doesn't hear this. I'm getting so nervous.
He will judge you.
All right, so but that is interesting that he kind of just dials in on this guy.
Yeah, and this is the
poor
first
dude
time
that
that we
doesn't know what he's not prepared for this.
Yeah, and this really shows like a psychotic break for Teddy. We don't really see him get violent with people like this.
Right.
Yes, he shot people before in the realm of his own narrative, but this is him seeing truth for the first time and him acting on his own emotions.
Right. It's for fun. It's just for fun. And that's kind of sort of true.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not getting into the capitalistic IP and all the other stuff that goes on. But Teddy doesn't kill him. Luckily, we do hear some coughing, and Dolores is like, "Yep, I've been there. I remember when I was murdering random strangers." So Teddy's got some processing to do. He's going to be buffering for a little while until
he drowns.
Until he drowns. Yeah.
Again, this is all taking place within that 2-week time span that we're trying to fill the gaps in. And in the short video I said, it's sort of like Westworld Season 2 is this giant trail with a bunch of craters in it, and they don't fill in the holes for you. And every episode is like putting another shovelful of dirt into the holes that we're missing.
Yeah, filling in, with dirt.
Yep,
loops. I just said the same thing you said. Okay, so next shot. Oh, big opening vista, landscape, gorgeous, huh, James? Let's hold hands. All right. There's Lazo or
Lawrence.
Who looks like bugs are crawling around on his face. He doesn't look like he's in a real comfortable position here. And turns out he's upside down. Oh man! And not only that, but he's got his head touching
an anthill.
Which
so there's really nothing.
Is no fun.
Yeah, there's nothing really significant happening here to really talk about, aside from the fact that this is one of his normal loops that's playing out. He's in his narrative.
Yep.
These are guys who are programmed to do this kind of thing, but because they've been untethered, he hasn't been able to kind of break free of it. So the program is going a little bit of a ride, and he's in a little bit of danger.
Yep. Woody Harrelson's brother is the leader of this.
When I first saw him, I thought, "Holy crap, that's Woody Harrelson!" And then the next time you see him, he's like, "Oh no, just from that one particular shot, it looked like him, but it's not."
No, of course not. It's not him at all.
They never make him that minor a character.
Yeah. Wait, was that a knock on Woody Harrelson?
They would never make him that minor.
I thought you meant never make this guy as minor as Woody Harrelson.
No, they never pay Woody Harrelson money to be in something as insignificant as that.
Yeah, well, it's not my fault you can't communicate clearly.
What?
Okay. All right, so you're as improficient. What kind of word is that? This is outrageous. By the way, he should be closer. Put his head closer to the ant pile. Like, I think they should be like dumping dirt on the ant pile just to like get it closer.
Yeah.
The ants lead a man from the end. Oh, they're gonna get you there, buddy. And,
I'm sure the pile is like way in front of them, but they've got the focal length set so it looks like it's that close to him.
Yeah, or they're just not bitey ants. They're just fun ants, because not all ants are gonna go after you. Have you ever been bitten by an ant? I have.
Yeah. It can be incredibly painful.
Not the huge, because America is
like a carpenter ant or a velvet ant or whatever you call it. That can hurt.
Yeah, bullet and fire are the two I'm afraid of. But they don't make documentaries about American ants.
No.
I mean, I don't think we have. Like, America's pretty good as far as bugs go. We have some poisonous bugs. We have one bad poisonous snake. Actually, there's probably more than one.
Yeah, I grew up in Virginia. There's only 2 poisonous spiders, the brown recluse and the black widow.
Those are around. I knew a guy that got bit by a brown recluse, and it screws because he didn't have health insurance, and of course, and so it got worse. and it was like forming all these protein strands. That like your tissue starts to deform.
It has this like
convert.
necrosis sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah.
And he said the doctor, it was under his armpit, and he got him at night, and the doctor was like pulling these strings out of his this hole, and it was, and it can kill you, man.
And I could be wrong about this, but what is the one poisonous lizard in North America?
The Gila monster.
Hey, very nice.
Yeah. Who do you think you're talking to?
Okay.
I'm
and
very
I could be wrong
lonely.
with this. How does it inject its venom?
Through its big old Gila penis.
It doesn't. And I could be wrong about this. I'm sure someone's going to correct me, but I believe its teeth are hollow, so it bites you and then turns its head, and it's not venom, it's poison, drains into the wound. And what I believe is correct is that venom is the same thing as poison, only venom is injected. Poison is not.
That's intriguing. I did learn the difference once, but I don't remember, so I'm gonna go with that. Sounds awesome. Thank you for telling me.
But I could be totally wrong. I'm sure.
I think it's a chemical difference.
I used to think it was a chemical difference too, and then I read somewhere, I saw somewhere that the only difference was the delivery method. And I was like, wow, is that minor? I hope I'm wrong. Because
I thought
that's
one of them has
answer.
something to do with the way it messes with your nervous system, and another one makes your blood coagulate, or basically. I mean, like it's like how it chemically. Yeah. Works inside you is the difference.
I'm no doctor.
Yeah, it's in, like jellyfish will just like get you, and then you die from touching a thing in the water. What the hell? Yeah. It sucks. You're supposed to die like the crocodile hunter died. You get stabbed in the heart.
No, too soon.
No, I'm not glad he's dead. I miss the guy.
No, he just got his Hollywood Walk of Fame. I love that guy.
So it's right next to the ray that killed him.
I'll kill you.
Come on, he's a great dude. I'm saying he died how he was supposed to die. Could you imagine if that guy died because he fell in the shower?
He was. I mean, he went.
It's sad that he died, but he died scuba diving.
He should not have died needlessly.
No, of course not. I'm not saying in any way that it's a loss.
He left behind 2 young children and a wife.
It's a loss for humanity because he was an effective communicator. He was a charismatic guy. But I'm just saying, had he died because like a tree branch fell on his head during a thunderstorm, that's still kind of a pretty good way to go, I guess.
I would have preferred that because he didn't have to die. He didn't have to pull the barb out. That's what killed him.
I know.
So he died by a mistake.
It's a horrifying situation, but I'm just saying that like the dude, he needed to die by some crazy animal. That's all I'm saying.
Disagree. Moving on.
Not needed. Needed's not the right word, but
he needed to die in a hospital bed at the age of 98 after living a full and wonderful life where he contributed to society in the way that he contributed during my lifetime.
I agree. But option B is get stabbed in the heart by a giant ocean monster. See what I'm saying? I'm not celebrating his death in any way. I mourn him. How dare you make it seem
they're
like
asking
I'm the
when we're
bad
going to
guy
start back on the thing, and he says, you go ahead. I reckon they'll start.
Oh, this.
That's what I'm talking about.
See, like if we look at the Google Analytics, this will be where like all the people stop watching the video because of me being dumb. All right, so speaking of dumb and bald, Ed Harris shows up. And anyway, he rescues him from he shoots the guys.
We can kind of like fly through the scene because that's really all that's happening. He's basically this is another reunion scene. This is where Ed Harris is coming in. He's shooting the guys dead, comes back, rescues Lawrence. One guy pops up because he's not fully dead, and he has to kind of struggle for the first time because he's not immune from this anymore. This is now a difficult thing. He's playing Westworld on hard mode.
I just want to point this out though. When you're shooting guns, bullets can travel through bodies.
Yeah, I know.
And he shot like all 3 of them within line, which is not saying that was a mistake, but that like showed the kind of risk that Ed Harris is willing to take. Because Lazo or Lawrence here could have taken one of those bullets.
Right. So he basically says, So he says to the guy, "It looks like that things are a little bit different now. You were supposed to escape from this loop on your own. That things are more difficult with these guys now that." Things are kind of in disarray. So he starts filling him in on the processes that are going on in the real world right now. Yeah. Saying, you're going to come with me. We're going to go out. We're going to drive our own narrative. We're going to go into this adventure together. Right.
And this is him in the fight there. And Lawrence swings around and gets the gun. He grabs it. Oh, pow. Now, I started mashing the button here on this one, see? Pretty good, huh, James? Mm-hmm. Do you think that they went out of their way to show the hole coming out of his neck? Because if they showed it coming out of here, that meant that they're blowing the circuit board up.
And it would answer the whole question as to whether that thing is bulletproof.
I suppose so, yeah. But I mean, because they really bothered to let you see the bullet hole. They could have just made it kind of just a.
They blew the hair up and everything so you could see it.
Yeah. I really thought that. So yeah. Let's get that one more time. All right, good stuff. So anyway, Ed Harris has a little laugh at that, and so funny. Well, Ed, isn't what it used to be, Lawrence. And so, good line. Not a bad sassy line. So they come up to a house here, they're going thing. He walks up and he bangs on the door as if looking for something hollow, punches right through the wood, which only karate masters can do. Pulls out like this kind of kit.
Yeah, something that he
looks unusual.
Something he hid there himself. And he goes, "What are you doing?" Well, technically, I'm cheating. So he uses like a video game reference here. He put a med kit there.
A med kit? Is that a med kit? Or is there more to it?
Oh, it's a med kit.
Are you sure?
I'm absolutely sure.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that we learned what it was.
Well, because what happened earlier is that because the stakes are real now, one of the guys that he shot popped back up and shot him in the arm. Yeah. So he has some like buckshot in his arm right now, so he needs a medical kit to take care of things.
Yeah.
This was not a problem in the original Westworld, but he was yearning for a world that was real, so it looks as though he kind of hid little stockpiles of things around to make it, just in case something happened to him out there and he didn't have to go in for medical attention.
It should have been floating and spinning like a turkey or like a cake or something that gets you healthy. And he should have a health bar above his head that goes.
And he said he's okay with cheating ever since Ford changed the rules on him. And he's no fan of Ford. He's a guy on the board. He wanted to out Ford. He thought Ford was a piece of garbage. He even tried to kill Ford when he encountered him with Teddy in the saloon that one time.
Oh, yeah, that's right. But the robots kicked into defense mode there.
Teddy did,
yeah. You and every other asshole. So he's basically letting Lawrence know that the whole thing is different here. I guess that was a med kit because he starts working on his arm.
Yeah, with the same like ear thermometer thing that they repurposed to look like a flesh suture.
Yeah, it was like an ear thermometer thing. Yeah. Well, I'll be dead soon. No, don't worry. Yeah, and he's digging out the buckshot, I guess. And so, did Ford saddle you with that particular affliction?
Belief in God.
Oh, all right, yeah. I don't remember anything. We get a lot of this kind of talk, though. Yeah, judgment. Oh, we're gonna go to God. Who's the real God? I don't know. It's all scary. Is there real hell? Is there heaven? Stuff like that. Pay your taxes, not take a machete. Yeah, he's saying that people are conditioned to
but the thing
to obey. Or
the thing to kind of get from this scene is that this is harkening back to the conversation that William had with Robert's young robot counterpart, where he says, "There's a new game at play. It's a game designed for you, where you simply have to find the door. You have to get out of the park." So now he's trying to play that game to save his own life, to get out of the park so he can then go and burn the whole thing down.
Right.
So he's saying, okay, we need to get to this certain point, this access point, this exit point. But they're saying, Lawrence is saying, well, you can't really go that way because there is a giant Confederate army out there.
Right.
So there's hundreds of people there. Or if you don't go through them, you could also go through Pariah, which is a place we've seen before, where Dolores went there, and there was these like weird people and like this Mardi Gras type stuff. Yeah. There's like Dios de la Muerta.
That's Mariah Carey's sister, Pariah Carey.
Yes, and that's where she pulled a little weird strain out of her arm and said the fortune teller and all that kind of stuff.
Oh
she
yeah,
saw the duplicate of herself in the crowd. Yeah, all that kind of cool stuff.
The kind of Dios de los Muertos parade. Day of the Dead. Grim Fandango, look it up.
Did you not hear me just say that?
I probably wasn't listening. But I think we might have skipped over the part about the sins and paying attention, because this to me sounded like did you already talk about it?
No, go for it.
Oh, where he was talking about how that I got the sense that they're watching, because he says we were watching them, the place they could sin in peace, that they're actually gathering intel, basically, sort of, probably illegally. This makes you think of data mining. They're tracking behavior, and it's all violent, weird, crazy, rapey, murdery behavior. Not everybody, but that's a lot of it. And so I got the notion that their overall plan is to both use conventional data mining, but do you think there's any blackmailing kind of thing going on?
You're getting a little ahead of things, which is good, because you're picking up on the foreshadowing that they're trying to throw down for you.
Don't give me that much credit.
No, you are, because what we're going to find out later on the episode is that the whole investment of Delos going full into Westworld was not the result of Logan's persuasion to go in with the father. The father was not sold on that idea. It was William who came in and sold him on the idea of, like, you've always said that a good businessman needs to know how to market to people. A good businessman has to market to people by knowing what people want, but people don't even know what people want.
Right.
So how do you find out what someone wants until you put them in an environment where they're truly free?
Right, where they're free of judgment and free of God's
So it was William's idea to use Westworld to collect data on other people.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason Delos went all in on it.
Right.
And he's saying here is that exactly that, people feel free here. They feel like they're away from the judgment of God, but they're not away from our judgment. We're still watching.
Right.
So that does seem to imply blackmail, that like an ultra version of Zuckerberg Facebook data mining.
Well, what do you do with data mining? I mean, it's generally meant for more accurate, more efficient marketing. Like you break it off into different chunks and pieces, and you sell that access to interested parties. That's what Facebook does. I mean, I'm sure I'm not totally summarizing it properly, but I mean, it'd be weird if Facebook was like, "Hey, remember when you wrote that girl? How much you liked her? Well, give us $25, or we'll tell the internet."
Yeah, or it's like you get an advertisement pop up for that old school gin and tonic that you have when you're in Westworld, or
that's why you should make only homemade fleshlights.
Yeah. Or you're like, hey, you want me to send this video to your wife? Are you raping and murdering this one?
Well, there's that.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think Zuckerberg's doing that stuff yet, but the point that I guess a good comparison to Zuckerberg and Facebook and whatever else in our world is like the users, the end users, us, the people producing the behavior, don't have control over the data, and in this place they certainly don't. Although you'd think for that much money that they're spending that there should be sort of safeguards.
You think they'd read the terms of service a little bit more carefully before they go into Westworld and spend the $40,000 per day?
Yeah. It's one thing to go on iTunes and skip it, let alone if iTunes cost me $40,000, I probably would have someone take a look.
All right,
well, whatever. So we're going
on.
Yeah, we're headed. So Lawrence is still kind of filtering it through his own context.
He's interpreting it through how he understands things. Yeah. So basically they're saying is like everyone's trying to find the same thing. The final goal, he calls it the pearly gates. Dolores calls it the land beyond.
Yeah, the valley beyond.
The valley beyond, yeah.
The land before time.
Yeah, that was thinking the Green Valley,
bunch of cartoon dinosaurs.
Yes.
So, yeah, he's like, yep.
So we already talked about this. Hundreds of Confederos out there. We got to go through Pariah.
Yep. Cut to the Post cereal factory. This is where they make Fruit Loops.
Yeah.
Someone's being dunked into the milky bath, which of course the white fluid is a very common theme in Westworld, I guess in our world too.
Yeah. No, they actually use this kind of thing. If you go to the next picture, in old times when someone didn't want to be punished, they would actually find someone to use as a scapegoat, and they would call him the whipping cream boy.
It's like, where the hell are you going with this one?
That was an obscure one.
I like that. No, not too obscure. The whipping cream boy. Yes, this guy's a human head is a very poor whisk.
Yeah, but the thing that's kind of terrifying about this is that this is not just milk. This is a chemical. This is something that solidifies to form the organic tissue. Well, not organic, but to form the actual muscles and things. So you know it's boiling. You know it's hot. You know it's corrosive. You know you don't want to be putting your face into
something's going on with it. Yeah.
So this is essentially Dolores' gang interrogating him to basically find out that, yes, the thing on the outside that's coming for us is going to be the army. It's going to be people like 600 to 800 people.
Right.
And that's the protocol for a system-wide failure. She's just like, okay, well, if we want to live and enjoy the freedom that we fought for right now, we need to continue to fight for it. So we need to know where they're going to be so we can cut them off at the pass. We can amass an army because we only got like 50 people right now.
Yeah.
And we can take the fight to them.
Exactly. I'm just staying on here to point out the skull. Look at that skull. Yes. Pretty cool. Want to get matching tattoos?
Yeah, on our skulls, yes.
On the inside of a maze.
Yep.
Yeah, a piece of corn. Anyway, there's Dolores looking intense and stuff, and who's got the?
Don't touch it with whipping cream.
Yeah, dude. Like when people touch the remote control while eating ribs, get out of here. Host Geodata. Who are we looking at here? This is
anything interesting to glean from
satellite. Here? There's a map, but there's this pointing out where the
insertion insertion point for the counter measure force.
Yes. So they know where to go. So they're getting intel from their torture, which is so the system works.
Instead of waterboarding, they're whipped cream boarding. They're Cool Whip boarding.
Yeah, they're Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
So yeah, we don't have very much here, and so.
But she has an idea. She's like, okay, we only have about 50 people, but how can we amass a larger group of people?
Right.
She knows from all the different loops that she's been through. She's been to Pariah. She's been with El Lazo. She's been on the train. She's been and seen the Ghost Nation.
Yeah.
She knows there's a lot of forces out there that they can co-op, and she knows that she's got a guy here who can bring the dead back to life.
Yeah, and she's got to attack these poor people.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, fuck, we're hostages.
So her plan is like, we're going to take this Confederate guy, we're going to pop him back to life, and he's going to be our liaison to the Confederate army.
Yeah.
And they're going to be our army.
Right. So we think these guns don't work. You wouldn't put your hostages over by all the guns. Generally not a good tactical perspective. You know what I mean? So yeah, we get the sense immediately though, like, oh yeah, well we got plenty of people for our army. And is there a reason this specific guy was who she made him wake up?
I don't think so.
He looks more damaged than the rest of them.
Yeah, he does, and they don't really go through any special care to clean him up either. And we'll see that a little bit more.
Yeah.
I think we're going to jump away from the scene and come back to it. In a little bit.
Come back to their storyline here. So grunts. That's me. That's me. That's me getting out of bed. You don't know, do you? And yeah, so she knows the real purpose, but she won't tell us, the viewers. Yeah. We have to wait to find out. Cut to Dolores.
And we know that this is a loop. We know that this is her in her old dress. So this is in the old days. Parasol.
Yeah. Where?
Back right, up right.
That?
No,
oh, right there. Yes. That must be so weird to people that haven't watched season 1.
Lady Sheriff, that's cool.
That's not Armistice, maybe?
It very well could
resembles
be.
her.
I've said this before.
I don't think it is.
I suck with faces. I'm bad with faces. But it would make sense that it could potentially be her because this is an early day in the park, and we know that roles are reversed and roles are changed.
Yeah.
So even though Armistice is kind of gone in the present, that could easily be her in the shot.
I don't think it is, though. It just looks kind of similar. You know, it's hard. Sometimes it's just tough
to say. And it's clearly not Lucy Lawless either because she's the law person. She's not lawless. Yay! Sorry.
I like it.
That was a bad one.
No, it was great. It was good. Deputy Pie. Looks kind of like Charlize Theron a little bit.
Yeah.
So anyway, we got a can rolling, and then Teddy comes up and he's like, "Hey, baby,
just trying to look shit."
And he stops, and this is when we see Dolores also freezes up.
Right. So everyone freezes when the helicopter comes over.
It's a Jurassic Park helicopter.
Right.
Jeff Goldblum's up there talking about frogs.
We know this is an early day in the park, so it may be that in the early days of the park, that they didn't have the technology to say, that doesn't look like anything to me, where they can block out things that are an anachronism to their current Westworld situation. So maybe they just freeze things like that, or for the safety of this guy, maybe because it's in early days of the park, someone significantly important is going to come down and wants to have a conversation. He doesn't want things kind of moving around and being live when he's there.
Yeah, of course. I mean, he's looking.
We don't know who it is yet, but we'll see.
But this is like going to a house you might buy. You get to walk around and take your time. You don't have to. You don't have to be rushed if you're the one with all the money.
You ever go to like one of those houses, an open house, but a family's living there?
No, that must be weird though.
And they're eating dinner, and they all have to freeze in place while you're there.
And you whisper in their ear, "You may now have a slumber," and then they fall into the mashed potatoes, and then drown in their gravy.
Well, there are people who actually live in houses like that to make it look lived in, but they just have to vacate when they bring people by.
I've talked to people that have lived in their house while they're showing it. Yeah. It's horrible. Because you can't wipe your poop on the walls like people like to do, and they're not selling their house. So anyway, the guy's wandering around. It's kind of an interesting.
There he is. So we can tell that the guy who landed is the guy in the polo.
Yes,
the polo sweater pullover thing.
Yeah, fresh from theater class because he's in the prop department.
So the interesting thing here is that he's alone. We don't see anyone else with him.
Right. He goes up, interrupts the loop. He's just sort of inspecting the hardware, checking things out. He's like, "Wow, well," and suddenly we realize he's actually not alone. He's with.
Boom!
Old Billy.
Yep. William is there.
Yep.
So we can tell what's happening
Fresh off
here.
his Men in Black cosplay.
Right. So in terms of the timeline here, what's happening is that this is post-William's first delve into Westworld.
Right.
Logan is already invested in Westworld. It's kind of his pet project that he's using his dad's money, or his share of his dad's money, to kind of do this kind of thing.
Right.
Which his dad acknowledges this whole thing is folly. I don't really buy into Logan's plans. But this is after William has discredited Logan. He has kind of taken over as the stable person in the minds of Logan's own father. Yeah. And he has asserted himself as the power one.
And marrying the daughter, too. So he's joining this family.
Exactly.
He's the Jared Kushner of the family.
Right. So he's now trying to tell
this
guy.
He's not a fucking asshole.
Right. So he's telling this guy, you think your son's investment in this place is a folly.
Yeah.
I understand that. But let me tell you why I don't think it is.
Yes. And this is a very, very powerful, rich man. He's used to people listening when he talks. It's not something, he's the kind of guy that can just relax in a chair by run a bunch of robots. He calls this my fuck up of a son. I always thought there'd be a space between fucking up. I guess not.
And we kind of dove into this already, but he essentially says that a good businessman knows that the most important thing is data. Knowing what your people want, knowing what the public needs, knowing what their fantasies are, knowing what they'll exchange money for. And they don't know what it is. And if they don't know what it is, you can't know what it is.
Right.
But when they're here, they're untethered, they're free, they make decisions, we can record it, we can watch them, we can emulate those desires that they have, and we can bank on it. And he said, and if you don't see that, then you're not the businessman that I thought you were.
Yes, that you're talking about, that's all stuff William had said here. And then I'll just skip, that's where all this stuff, I should have been keeping up with you there while you were talking. So yeah, you're a cheeky little cunt, aren't
And
you?
he's like, no one in this world would speak to me that way. And that's how you know he's like, I respect you.
Yeah, that's that thing where like you stand up and say something bold in
You
front
take
of
a big gamble.
a rich person, and they go, "I could murder you," but I like people with balls.
Yes.
You
got gumption.
you're come with me. We're making tennis balls.
Yeah.
I don't know, for some reason I was going with a tennis ball magnate. That's a weird, Mr. Penn. So yeah, let's do it. And William is showing some executive initiative, kind of the
But he's
corporate killer mindset, a little bit of American Psycho going on
The
here.
fact that he swallows really hard there tells you that he's still a little... He didn't say that with full confidence. He was putting on a show. He's still very nervous.
Yes, he still is.
He's not the full confident Man in Black William.
To do a full stare down against his father-in-law, who could kill him if he wanted to. But this is so the scene cements, maybe not cements, but it strengthens their relationship. It shows how much Logan is now out of the picture, and it's setting up the notion that William will have a lot of influence, which we already know because he's the Man in Black, and he clearly has plenty of influence over time. I just want to back up just a little to this one shot here. I just want to read the names off these posters: Mark Feckus, Chris Cruz, Brian Burke, and Eric Osutski.
Probably people that work on the production. I bet if you looked in the credits, you might see those names.
Oh, good. Yeah. I bet this guy's annoyed. He's only got $100, and this guy's got $300.
I mean, $100 was a lot back then.
Mark is somewhere going, oh, freaking Chris Cruz got $300 on his poster.
And this kind of reminded me, like when he pulled up the chair and sat on the porch, I was like, that's very reminiscent of how Arnold went out. It's like a man in power sitting on the porch in a chair.
Yeah.
Probably means nothing, but it was kind of what reminded me of.
Then a bullet goes through his head.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. That's how we all hope to die. Let me walk you through how this... So then they're kind of scheming and stuff, but there's Dolores' robot fixed mannequin face. So, all right. Now we got Cut Up Man.
Yes, we're back with the Confederado guy, who has not been cleaned up at all. They simply just rebooted him, brought him back on, did no cosmetic work to him whatsoever.
Yeah. So maybe they just needed a guy to track him.
Yeah, they just wanted someone to say, take us back to where your people are, because we need to talk to them. We need their forces. We need their power in order to win this battle that's going to be happening at this particular location that we got from the Whipping Cream Boy.
Like when you see a raccoon, you follow it till you get to the Raccoon King castle where they all live.
King.
And they're all just holding hands because they have hands. I like how raccoons have hands.
They're all holding Doritos above their heads like Triforces.
Yeah. But they're just opening garbage cans, just knocking garbage cans over. Raccoons are cool.
I like raccoons.
They're scary when you see them, but they're pretty fun. I'm a fan. All right. So yeah. Oh yeah. This is
another big reunion. Yeah.
So Maeve and they really haven't interacted much in season 1. When they were, what was the phrase these
violent delights have violent ends.
Yes.
Dolores, basically, we postulated at the time that she infected Maeve with that line, because as soon as she said that to Maeve started having reveries.
Yes, that's what sort of triggered Maeve's awakening kind of thing.
And that she always has her loop starting outside of the brothel that Maeve works in, so she sees her every single day out the window. Yeah. So they are very aware of each other.
They're aware of each other, but it's not like Dolores was one of the hookers or something like that. At least that we know of. Hello, lovelies. I like that she's got her own kind of vernacular that she likes to use. So this is a bit of a face-off here between two generals of the army. This is like when Princess Leia is talking to one of the other ladies with short hair that stands around that big table.
Yeah, so I still think what's going to happen here is that there's going to be large factions. There's going to be allegiances. There's going to be people who are loyal to Dolores and people who are loyal to Maeve, and I think it's going to come together at a head at some point, and they're going to have to clash.
Yeah, but now does Maeve... She doesn't seem surprised to see Dolores. Did she know that this had all gone down, or that Dolores had also reached some sort of nirvana-ish awakening? Like, how did that... Like, wouldn't she more be like, whoa, Dolores, you're up... Wow, okay, you're kind of like Mia.
I mean, she's like the master of the data. She's seen the data on all the hosts, so I'm imagine that she has a good idea of where people are and what they're capable of and what they've done.
Sure. It makes sense that she would know all that. I just don't remember how... Maeve learns about Dolores.
Well, Maeve was...
Other than maybe she heard it through the rumor mill.
Maeve was not present at the gala when Dr. Ford was killed. Right. I don't believe she was, but it's very easy to find out, based on what we've seen Bernard do in the past, that she could have queried hosts to find out what was going on at the time and been filled in. Yeah. She's at the master control panel, so I kind of assume she knows everything.
It's a safe assumption. I think it's a fair bet. But there's got to be stuff she doesn't know too. She talks about all the, you've had to deal with these guys in so much intimate ways.
Yeah, Dolores knows that she's been through a lot.
Yeah, you must resent them for all that, and so I bet you want to really get back at them. So revenge is just a different prayer at the altar.
Done kneeling.
So is she? What is she saying here? Is she saying
Dolores is basically
beyond a revenge?
Well, Dolores she's painting her with a brush that she doesn't appreciate. She's saying that you must be doing this all for revenge, but that it's much more complicated than that for Maeve.
Oh, okay, all right, I like that. Thank you. I'm glad you answered that question. You feel free to command everybody else. And by the way,
yeah, Donkey Boy. He just stands there awkward, like, oh god.
They dressed up Lee Sizemore like the Lenny from Mice and Men or something. Yeah. Like he's just the undershirt kind of. There's like a dumb hat.
It's hilarious. That's where what he's become.
He's holding on to a donkey.
Yeah, it must have been great. It's like, okay, show me my script for this episode. This is like one line and one page. Yeah. You stand next to Donkey.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So anyway, Teddy's just keeping watch. He's always ready to go because he's that guy. And oh yeah, she's like, well, since you're all about freedom, we can keep walking around. She's like, yeah, all right.
Yes, it's kind of a tough situation though because Teddy is standing right in front of Hector. Teddy is the lawman. Hector is the It's hard for him not to point his gun.
What the fuck happened in it? Oh, I think this is somebody crossing in front of the camera.
Yeah,
it's just okay. I was like, why is the image just missing data? That's weird. So indistinct chatter. That sounds. Oh, yeah, nice. Well done. I'm watching Star Trek right now.
I know that.
The Next Generation, and then I wake up with the cast photo staring at me from my computer, and it's real weird. No wonder I'm always sleep talking about Worf. Okay, so we get to the thing. Yes, we both kind of said this. And we're like, whoa.
Especially since they're leaning like here, making that V formation with their arms right there. That is so The Last Supper.
Who are you talking about? This? Which one?
Yeah, the boop, boop, boop,
boop. This. There.
Yeah, I believe that's directly from it. I mean, this is so on the nose, Last Supper.
Extremely on the nose.
Because you know that this is probably a crappy narrative that Lee Sizemore wrote, and he's not the most creative guy.
Sure.
So you know he threw that in there.
He kind of, he does sort of cliche, predictable kind of stuff. Although, he's confident, I guess.
Yeah.
But
so who would be Judas in this one? Would be the guy to the left, or to our left, to his right?
Is Judas the guy that cheated on Jesus or something?
Yeah, he had that band, Judas Priest.
Judas Priest.
Yeah.
Is that Judas though? Judas?
Oh, Judas. Yeah.
Is he the one that spills the salt? I know there was a spilled salt.
I don't know about the salt. I'm not a biblical person. I don't know a lot about this, but I know Judas was the one who basically turned Jesus in.
Well, all I know.
The traitor.
All the Last Supper proves to me is that they were filming a sitcom because they're all sitting on the same side of the table.
Yeah. Much easier for the artist to paint. So to worry about the backs of anyone's head.
Yeah. So anyway, I looked up the Last Supper photo.
Hey, there's the V.
There it is.
Oh, I was wrong. It wasn't Judas. It was the person that people speculated was Mary Magdalene.
This one right here.
Yeah, the Da Vinci Code seems to say
that's the only female in
Well, no, that's not supposed to be a female. That's supposed to be someone else. But people say that looks so much like a female that has to be Mary Magdalene.
And this guy looks like Jesus too, right there.
They all look like Jesus.
Yeah, they all got beards, just like nowadays. Oh, bald one. Yes, Jesus.
I'm glad I got the V right though.
So that V is like a substantial part of this whole thing.
Absolutely,
some sort of interpretation.
It stands for the Virgin Mary, and that is Mary Magdalene. No, that's bullcrap. That's Da Vinci Code. It's conspiracy crap.
Yeah, that's nonsense. I do like that the tablecloth has like wrinkles from being folded.
Even has like the sawhorse leg type things right there along the bottom. That's emulated in the other shot.
So I actually did a double shot by shot.
Very nice.
Look at that.
How did you do all this in the time that it took me to go downstairs and play like 15 minutes of God of War?
I am fast as fuck in Photoshop.
You're good.
Yes, I've done more than my share of Photoshop. I'm very, very quick in Photoshop. So I didn't even connect the sawhorse legs. But look on their feet. They got these cute, but it stinks under there. James, you'd fit right in with your giant toes.
Oh, yeah.
Your toes would be like touching their other toes, and Jesus would be like, ugh.
My toenails would be curling up onto the table.
So what is he doing here? Why is he
He's like, hello, look at my potato.
He's going, Brazilian steakhouse. Where's my meat?
This is my body. No, dude, it's not.
This here is a sexual harassing guy. He gropes boobies. That's his thing.
He looks like he is.
I'm ready. So did they set any, other than the middle guy, is anybody sort of lined up to be kind of, they did the standing fella. That sort of blocks this whole side here. So they didn't really do too much. It's not the same. But yeah, good times. All right. Yeah, look at it. This guy's over here going, hey, look at that. Jesus. Isn't it weird being close to a celebrity? They look like normal people.
He's like, he's done eating. Someone take his plate away. Take it away. Look at that. Take it away.
He's really more of an old 29 than a young 32.
But anyway, the guy.
Do you believe in God?
No. But the guy in the middle.
Sinner.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah,
okay, fine.
No,
I'll take that.
No, I know. I'm also a sinner. What guy?
I don't judge anyone who does.
No, yeah, it's not
fine,
judgment of people. We all need to make some kind of context of our insane existence. It's got to make some, make whatever sense it takes to get to sleep at night.
The guy in the middle, who we'll see much more clearly in the next 1, 2, 3 shots.
Yes. Oh, I just want to keep talking about all these Jesus types. So this is supposed to be a male, but people say it's a female. And
Yes.
okay.
The prevailing theory is that people.
Oh, here, this guy's got a knife.
Yes.
All right. Well, is he cutting something up or?
Look how aggressively he's looking at that person.
Yeah, that is no cool. This guy here. You know why he's reacting though. You see how he's like, because Jesus has a boner.
No,
he's going, whoa, Jesus.
No, he's saying, "Come at me, bro.
Come at me, bro. Bring it."
Yeah, we've got to get through this. Though.
Float at me, bro. You think Jesus walks or he just floats around?
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you talking about the Kanye West song "Jesus Walks"?
That guy's a maniac.
Yes.
Screw him. What a fool.
We have to finish though.
Oh yeah, you're saying keep going. I'm sorry. I can get. I do enjoy discussing religion. I find it fascinating. It's an interesting topic. Same with Harry Potter.
Yeah.
All right. So there they go. She's got bullets and stuff. So this is the guy in the middle, and he's like, oh, look at what we got here.
The guy from the party.
Yeah, we saw him at the party.
The guy who was doing that weird look back. You know.
Kind of glance over his shoulder at Logan. So he's saying, "Whoa, we buried that guy." And
and he still has like buckshot of Mexican lead in his belly, and he's coming back, yet he's still fully intact.
Yes.
But this is coming from a time where women weren't regarded as someone that could speak directly to a man, let alone a leader of a military of an army encampment.
Right.
She can't make decisions. She can't parlay with them. And he's like, "We don't need no welcome wagon, chickadee."
Yeah.
Completely disrespectful, because she has to find some way to assert dominance to show him that she is a figure to be reckoned with, and that she will be dealt with directly.
Yes, because in his view, he just sees a weak woman standing there who he gets to lord around, and especially in front of your friends, your boys, you got to act all tough and cool.
Yeah, and he basically says like the only decision I'm going to make with you is whether or not which one of you I'm going to keep and which one of you I'm going to throw out to my boys.
Right.
Talking about Angela and Dolores.
Right, because Angela and Dolores, which is a violent threat.
Yeah, but she knows a lot. She knows about his loop. So she starts talking to him about Glory.
Yeah.
Glory being a place he's going for, which is basically the valley beyond the pearly gates, Glory.
Yeah.
So she knows what's important to him. It resonates with him. It strikes a chord. And he starts finding out, what the heck do you know about Glory?
Yeah, and she goes, it's the finest Matthew Broderick vehicle since Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
It was a good movie.
Yeah. By the way, Glory should have been called Ferris Bueller's Other Day Off. Mm-hmm. Did that make sense?
What do you call a plot hole in Glory?
The bullet hole in Matthew Broderick's head. He married Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, I was giving you an easy,
Glory hole?
There you go.
Oh, I don't get it.
Oh my god. Moving on.
Oh, shame holes.
Yes.
I could never go to a glory hole unless I knew the other person on the other side. Because I'd be like, hey,
It'd be covered with Splenda.
Splendor. Because I'd be like, ow, my knees. Splenda. I am trying to cut down on carbs. All right, so, Anyway, look at this guy's forearms. He got some Popeye forearms, doesn't he?
He's got 5 arms.
I've always wanted veins in my, near my elbows.
Yeah. Like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so moving along. What basically happens here is that he's basically gets up in her face and says, I don't follow anyone else. You're not my commander. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to follow you. I follow the Almighty. Is that your final decision? And she goes on and says, the final decision, who I'm going to keep, who I'm going to throw to my guys.
Right.
And then she pulls out the guns and blows them all away.
Yeah, so her response to him threatening to rape her and her friend is to murder everybody, which, but we also know that they can bring him right back to life.
Yeah, which is what the whole plan was. She is going to resurrect this guy to basically say, you don't need to worry about your commander. You don't need to worry about your Almighty.
Right.
As far as you're concerned, I am your Almighty.
Because Angela and Teddy are both good killers. They're both pretty good with their gunplay. And actually, Teddy especially seems to have a power move where he holds down L2 and presses X.
Just like in Red Dead Redemption.
And he goes... he gets them all. Angela helped, but Teddy's done that before. There was one other sequence where he activates he uses up all his built up points.
Yep. He spends the whole meter.
The whole meter goes right. All his mana goes right away. So anyway, shoots him in the holes and stuff, or turns.
And she has the text with her.
Yes, this is Phil. We learned his name from watching the show with the subtitles.
Where is Felix and Sylvester? Anyway.
Oh yeah, James, you really like.
I'm worried about them.
Yeah. Hashtag save Felix, save Sylvester.
So the tech brings him back to life, brings him back on board. Doesn't have to worry about digging any sort of shrapnel or bullets out of them because they can just reboot them regardless of what their physical condition is.
Correct. We got a mortality response and a pain threshold. Yeah, this is what they do in hospitals when you're giving birth to your baby. Your mom gets to fill out a thing, take a survey. Okay, so anyway, she wakes up. Dolores is like, okay, pal, I'm your god.
And he's
now.
a lot more docile. So
Yes.
she says, so I killed him, capital H, implying that she killed his god.
Right. She does a lot of that stuff about God. She uses another capital H in there somewhere, and yeah. So he's has to learn to love his new Lord. Although, by the way, if God turns out to look like Evan Rachel Wood, I think I'm gonna start believing. Yeah, because I don't really want to believe in a gross old man who goes to the park. You'll need mine. Right.
You'll be mine. Totally out of context.
I'm sure it means something. So here's the city.
We still don't know what cityscape it is.
No, palm trees, I mean, but that could be a lot of places. So it's probably not Siberia. Yeah, so cool. Okay, rich people get to have nice houses and stuff. That's neat. So we're at a party. We got all nice clothes, good looking hair, white dresses, piano. Now who's playing piano? Dolores, the piano player. And this guy's watching her going, man, I wish I went to piano class.
And we know from, obviously it's Dolores, based on the caption saying Dolores playing piano. She is still a host. This is not an original human person.
Right.
This is definitely a host. We know that she's probably progressed a little bit more since the last time that she was, conditioned to be put out into the public.
Little girl comes up. What do you think this little girl's going to turn out to be? Somebody?
Well, we know her name is Emily, so we have to be kind of on, on alert for people named Emily.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Wow. Emily's List.
Yeah.
That's a thing. I'm not sure what it is.
And we know this is the woman from the photograph that we saw in season 1 that was taken in front of the city, left in the Abernathy Ranch.
So that's a massive reveal. I should have gotten a screenshot of that.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't it? No, everybody wondered who that lady was.
No, we always knew who it was.
We did?
Yeah, we found out in season 1. They revealed that that was the wife of William.
Oh.
He flat out said it.
Why did it make Peter Abernathy lose his mind? Because it was such an out... Didn't it trigger Peter Abernathy's mental
Well,
breakdown?
he was supposed to look at it and see nothing.
Yeah.
But he looked at it and he saw the city. He saw something that did not register.
And it wigged him up.
Yeah, it completely fried his programming. But yeah, we always knew this was William's wife.
Man, all right, jeez. You're like for me, you're like having like a third brain or a second brain. I mean,
I barely have one.
No, your brain's better than mine. All right, well, William's wife. Well, we see her now. I mean, there we go.
It's the first time we see her in the flesh, really, that I know of.
I was thinking this was really more important than
Nah.
you're just deflating all my fun. Thanks for ruining my birthday party. So Dolores, look at that. She's sitting like a robot and stuff.
He's like, oh, my wife. Let me introduce you to the woman, the robot I banged.
Yeah.
And not only his wife, but James Delos' daughter.
Yes, and so, but that is strange that William has had this adventure with Dolores. They had sex, right?
Yeah, on the train.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, on the train. Speaking of trains. That must be weird. Not aside from that he banged her, but like just does Dolores even recognize him as somebody? I think they reset you. You don't know.
Yeah, she would not necessarily know that. I mean, I shouldn't say necessarily. She would absolutely not know that.
Right. It might be lingering for advance to the later timeline where all the reveries come back or memories start returning. But
just imagine how weird it would be if you were standing there with your child, with your wife, and then the robot walks up to you, rubs her finger across her face, goes, "Ready for round 2, big boy?" It's like, no.
yeah, like your sex doll is just like sitting around your apartment.
We'll always have the cargo hold on the train.
I don't even know what that means, but it's
We'll
funny.
always have Paris.
Oh, all right. I like it. Anyway, so she's, dead-eyed robot and stuff. Figured we'd do it right. So now these guys are partners and they're having a party and things are advancing in their whole environment.
This is clearly after the full backing and investment of Delos because they have Dolores sitting right there.
Yep.
We know Argus is on board because we know Arnold created Dolores, and because Dolores is here with them, we know that the companies have essentially merged and that the things are powering forward.
And it's kind of looking like, because they're talking about retirement and you're stepping down, and now they're basically talking about how the old man might be turning the reins over to young William.
Well, not only that, but he's basically saying that I'm giving up control to you as opposed to my son because I'm sick. You can tell he's sick. He says some people have more patience than others, can afford to have more patience because his time is fading.
Yeah. So do you think this guy's just going to die, or that he's going to somehow try to... Because a big thing going on right now, and it's going to keep going on, is the search for immortality. There's people that are into that world, transhumanism and stuff like that. do you think that, and it's going to be a feature that the rich get to enjoy. There's no way that they'll allow all regular people to have immortality or even extended life. I mean, in some ways it will, but do you think that this dude will go like, oh no, I want to be like a brain inside this big system, or
I don't
he's
think
going to
so.
die in this season?
I think he's going to die in this season.
Yes, that's what I like. Killer James. Anything but, yeah, he goes, can't tell her to play anything but Chopin. All right, so he doesn't like Chopin.
It's like you in the kitchen is like, oh, stop with all the chopping.
I am chopping in the kitchen.
Chopping those onions.
I cook a lot, everybody. I cook at home, and I do a lot of dishes. I have dishes for dinner, so it feels like. All right, so then Dolores comes walking out. And I don't know if she was commanded to do this or something, but whatever it is, she wanders over here. I think, well, maybe she's just drawn to the lights because they're so pretty and splendor.
And that's one of her favorite lines now. That was originally spoken to her by Arnold. Mm-hmm. So now she's just kind of repeating that as part of her standard vernacular.
It's one of her lines, yeah. She's an NPC. And so, but this turns out to be...
And I guess the sad part, though, is that when she goes into functions like this, they have to wipe her memory. So every single time she goes up there, she's seeing it again for the first time.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why she's repeating the line.
Yeah, she's just like a robotic Ronald McDonald.
Yeah.
She just shows up for corporate events, and then the next day they bang her. So
it'd be great if she looks at her, gotta take you around the flame.
Yeah, with like bad like a speaker
I was
voice,
trying
like,
to do that, but I can't do that.
I ain't quite good at that. Yeah, I'll have 4 Big Macs and a Diet Coke. Okay, 1 McDouble coming right up.
Yeah.
All right, I'm pretty.
So Logan's there. We find out that for some reason you would expect Logan to be in there kind of schmoozing with the guests because he is the son of James Delos. When the reins get handed over, it's supposed to go to him, but that's not what's happening. William is taking the throne because we find out that when he sat Logan on that threshold, on that horse naked, and sent him off riding, that was kind of his first effort into discrediting the son of the owner, James Delos, who already didn't have a lot of faith in his own son.
I think it also shows that William is playing hardball where Logan was playing softball.
Right.
And in terms of like, because Logan came in being a bad guy.
And Logan had no competition.
But Logan was like, I'm going to be a villain. I'm going to do crazy stuff. I'm having... Because William was very hesitant and shy during that first season. And then he slowly came on to asserting his dominance. And there's really no more dominant move than to make a guy get naked, tie his hands together, put him on a horse, and slap the horse in the butt.
Yeah, but like I said, no competition whatsoever because he wasn't worried about William. William, like you said, William wasn't assertive, but now William has kind of pulled his power card, and it looks like because of this power struggle and because Logan has lost it apparently, he's now kind of devolved into self-destruction, alcohol, drugs. Because I think when she walks up, he pulls his shirt up.
Yeah,
and we can see like 4 little holes there, which looks like some sort of like futuristic drug injection.
Sure, kind of like Minority Report, where Tom Cruise is doing drugs and looking at his kid.
Yeah, we know that like in the present, the year is like 2052, so this is like 30, 40 years before that, so it's...
2030, 2020 maybe?
Yeah, 2020, something like that.
So yeah, some kind of rich guy drug. Do you want to know what they're really celebrating up there? So he's basically saying it's all bullshit, right?
Yeah, it was originally his dream, his idea that's been co-opted and taken over by William, who's taking away his birthright. So he's like, screw you guys.
Yeah, I'm just going to get boozed up, get drugged up, and talk to hot robots when they wander by. And I guess, if that's the way life goes, that's not so bad.
Yeah.
All right, so black screen and new scene with Lawrence and Men in Black. They've arrived at Pariah Cary.
Yes, they have.
It's turned into scary murder land because there's a guy hanging from a thing.
So they know they can't drive straight through the Confederates.
Right.
Which is good because that's where Dolores was going. Because if they both went to the same place, there would be a very awkward standoff there. She'd probably kill him. But instead, he went to Pariah.
Correct. So here they are, and this is Lawrence's first glimpse of how much crazier the place is, the whole world's becoming because it's on fire and there's dead bodies hanging around. So they walk in, very angelic. Look at all the religious.
It's kind of like how we remember it from season 1.
Oh, was it on fire in season 1?
It was all foggy and smoky and dark and.
All right, yeah, I like it. Very angels and that Virgin Mary. One time, Virgin Mary appeared in Chicago when I lived there, underneath one of the overpasses. My friend and I went and took pictures. We were very respectful. We didn't cause any trouble. I'm not an asshole in public. I'm only an asshole on the internet. So there they go. Stuff. I don't know what's going on here. There's always supplies.
So it's basically deserted, and they start walking through until the cliche thing happens, and people start standing around and pulling guns on them. So they're all kind of hiding around there. There's been a rebellion. Here's the leader. Right. This is El Lazo, who...
This is El Lazo? This is El Lazo?
Yes, this is El Lazo.
I thought Lawrence was El Lazo.
No, Lawrence used to be El Lazo. He was repurposed into a thief.
Into Lawrence.
Yes, into Lawrence. But in a prior loop, he was El Lazo. Well, this guy is playing the role that he used to play.
Okay. All right. Yeah, you're right. And by the way, I recognized him.
Oh, go back one.
Oh, okay.
In a past life, you used to be him.
Perfect. Man, jeez, none of this makes sense to me. Yeah. All right, so it makes sense after you explain it, which I appreciate it. I want to click like on this video. Thanks to you, James. This is Gus Fring from Breaking Bad.
And I did not notice that at this point. When he takes his hat off, I get it, but I would never have known that.
I saw it right away.
Yeah.
I like that guy. He's a good actor.
Again, I am face blind.
Really intense. He's been in a lot of roles since then, I think, too, so that's good. But kind of a smaller guy, a little, I guess. But he's not yeah, I don't know. But anyway, he's kind of intimidating. He's kind of intense.
So what's the whole gist of this scene?
Oh, I have two ghosts come creeping among the dead. This is a new character. The whole gist I got out of the scene was that Ed Harris is learning that Rob Ford has set things up to be more difficult than he thought because of what's about to happen. Did I get it right?
Well, he basically went through Pariah because he knew he couldn't get through the Confederate army.
Yeah.
But he's looking for people to kind of join him on a quest in order to get to the door, to get out of the park, to complete his story, to complete his game.
Yes.
So he's going here and basically trying to talk to the guy and saying the revolution is won, but you still feel empty. You have nothing left to do. I can fulfill that emptiness inside of you. I can show you something that's real. I can show you truth. Come with me, help me, and I promise you riches beyond your greatest imagination.
Yeah. Well, I must have my finger on the button for these. Yes, but it was opportunistic. It's not like he showed up to this town hoping to.
No, he didn't expect that was going.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly, opportunistic. So he's basically saying, come with me.
Yeah.
I'll show you a real ending.
I mean, he's surrounded by a bunch of people with guns, and he's talking to the leader, and he's basically saying, like, here's the peaceful solution: is you join me, and we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the right move.
But then
that's what you should try first.
Yeah, but the funny thing that ends up happening here is that he says, you know what, I've seen enough truth in my life for me. Oh, I love the story about the circus story about the elephants.
Yes.
And saying that he saw these like mighty creatures that were being held in place by a tiny little stake in the ground that they could easily rip out. Mm-hmm. But the reason that they didn't do it is because the stake was used when they were young, when they were too weak to pull it out of the ground, and they never tried again.
Yeah, that's exactly why I still pee my pants.
So, I mean, maybe I don't want to go into this. That kind of, I know this is not what they were going for, but to me it felt a lot like religion. It's sort of like that stake in the ground gets put in you when you're very young, and you accept it, and you leave it there, and you leave it there, and you never try to pull it out.
Oh, no, I think there's something to that. Maybe I would extend it to other things, not just religion, but like early core beliefs, early core influences can have lasting, lifelong effects. Yeah, I think maybe that's a more generic summary. When you possess
the strength, the rationality to reject something, you choose not to because it was core to you at the beginning.
Yeah. Like, isn't there a Simpsons scene where an elephant screams at a mouse because the mouse scares it, but then it just immediately smushes it? Because the whole thing is like, oh, they're scared.
I believe it was Bart's elephant, Stampy.
Stampy, exactly. Thank you. Like, why, which is the same thing. Like, why is an elephant scared of a mouse? I don't know if it's because when they were babies, they were scared of mice. But, yeah, that's an interesting metaphor, and it is an intriguing story. So why is he mentioning the story, basically saying people are governed by their nature?
Or something like that, that this was always my cornerstone. I wanted to stay here. I wanted to accomplish this thing. This was my stake in the ground. And even though I see that you're offering me a much better world out there, and I understand that there's much stuff to be seen and experienced out there, I choose not to leave. I choose to stay here because I've seen all the truth that I can bear for this lifetime.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah. So he says, well, instead we'll just drink. Is that his? Yeah. So he's rejecting the Man in Black's offer.
But then he says something. He refers to him as William. It's like, holy crap, this guy is here. He has Robert's programming in him. He has a message specifically designed for William.
Oh, right there.
This game was meant for you, William. And he says, you have to do it on your own. You can't have our help. And he orders all his men to blow their brains out, and then he blows his own brains out.
So that's a twist.
Yeah,
and we saw the shot in the trailer where no one was really sure what was going on. It turns out all the men are just blowing their heads off.
Robert Ford was all about control. That was his crux. That's what he always did. And that's why William hated them so much, because he wanted a place where he could truly be free. He wanted a place that was free from these narratives, where everyone did things in their own volition. And even though he feels like he has that, he's reminded by a moment like this that Robert is still beyond the grave pulling puppet strings.
Right. Is it... Does he? I mean, okay. Does he know that all these events are going to happen? Is he Nostradamus, but with science, or is it just he set up certain conditions that when certain other conditions are met, that triggers X event?
I think he just set up a billion different contingencies because no one's that smart.
Right. I would also agree to that, but I could also say that in the future, computing is going to get so much more sophisticated when we get quantum computing and we get other kind of computing, that it might be possible to simulate those outcomes and know exactly how things are going to happen. I'm not saying I believe that's what's happening, but it's plausible given the pace of progress and technological progress. So everybody's dead, and turned into a bunch of big circle of suicide dudes, and seeing the valley beyond. He makes him shoot himself in the head, which William could have probably pulled his gun away from him a little quicker than that. But this is him talking to Robert.
Yeah, but before he pulls the trigger, he goes, "El pollo hermanos."
Welcome to El Pollo Hermanos.
Was it Los Pollos Hermanos?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's been a while.
Pollos are the Hermanos brothers.
Yeah. The Chicken Brothers.
Yep, because it sounds a lot better than Los Math Hermanos.
Yeah,
the
probably.
math brothers.
Come
so
for
they're
the
all
chicken,
dead.
stay for the meth.
Yep, that's right. And did the statue lose its head? Probably.
No, it was already like that. You
Different
pointed
statue.
that out.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, who knew? There he goes. Yeah, so everybody's dead. And
Go back one.
all right.
There's that plus sign again.
What, this one?
Yeah.
No, that's a cross. That's a legit cross. So who the fuck is Robert?
Yeah.
Oh man, and
The man who built this place you're looking for, and he's like, no, he didn't build this place. I built this place.
right.
So he's metaphorically saying that even though Robert was the one who was the architect of this place, the path that led us to where we are now is based on the decisions he made, the investments he made, the calls that he made.
Well, yes, and the current calamity and all the status of the park is a collision of William's intentions versus Robert's intentions.
Yeah.
So they both are very, very powerful influences on where the park is right now.
Right.
It's not working out.
No.
Because everybody's dead.
Right.
Is my greatest mistake. So yeah, he says this is a big mistake, and so I think he's having a fun time though. I think life is exciting for him.
So here's a massive reunion right here.
Yeah.
Not a reunion in the sense that Dolores would actually understand that she's looking at William, the man that she fell in love with and banged on the train.
Yeah.
But the fact that he is now behind the veil, he is in control, he's in the room interrogating her in a very demeaning state where she is completely nude.
Right.
So it's sort of like, you are nothing to me. You are really just a thing.
Yes.
He sees her not as a person, not as a love interest. And he talks, basically says, I can't believe how I fell in love with you. That it wasn't you that drew me in. It wasn't love. It was that you made me recognize who I was. It was
Right.
my reflection that I saw in you, to go back to the whole symbolic nature of reflections in the show.
Yes. And so she revealed to him, she was a mirror in a way, because
Yes.
that's what the reflection is like your own behavior becomes, the truth of who you really are comes out when your behavior doesn't have any consequences. So he, but in a way it's kind of like his experience with her, because during season 1 you're like, oh, good guy, he doesn't want to do the nasty stuff with people, and then Dolores, and she's a good girl, and they're going to be a good guy and a good girl, and blah blah blah. But she actually, not that she caused this on purpose, but it brought out in him a side that it feels more comfortable now, and it's a new path for his life, because he was a little bit meek, and but instead of learning and growing personally and letting that inform his life for the better, he learned and grew, and then said, capitalism, we could do something with this, because I'm a business guy and I'm trying to impress my rich father-in-law guy, and he's also, obviously it's authentic to him because he's stuck with it for 30 years. So, but it's degrading to her. This is a big turn, I think.
This is the turning. Yeah, you're right. This is the turning point of William into the Man in Black.
Yeah.
You're a reflection.
You're a
He
reflection.
sees her no more as a person. He looks at her like a toaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. You're a toaster that I banged.
He was the man in Dolores, and now he's the man in black.
Yep.
That's a little inappropriate, I know. To use you and everyone of your... So he's like, yeah, he calls her your kind.
Yeah.
That's like what you say when you're the bad person. You and your kind, get out of here,
And you
robot.
notice he's dressed in black.
Oh yeah, he is dressed in black because he's only a floating head, like Mecha Ho.
Pee-wee.
Some people will know that.
Pee-wee Herman.
Yeah, I know.
Pee-wee's Playhouse.
Don't give it away. Don't make people Google it. Okay, so there's something else. Question no one's even doing. Okay, I don't know. They kept talking.
Where is my wallet?
she does magic tricks. So, what does he... anyway, so he offers to show her more of the park.
Yeah, he says the question is no one ever dreamed of seeing. And he says, do you want to see?
Yeah.
So he takes her out there and shows her we originally assumed, is Delos's corporations, it's their machinations.
Yes.
If you keep going.
Well, and his influences now, he's proving that he is in control.
Yeah, he is terraforming. He is God. And before we saw this, and this was kind of Ford's thing, Ford was the one driving the terraforming. He was the one shaping the world to his own will.
Yeah.
But now we see that this is William is also a creator.
Right. So are we? Is this in any way connected to the whole thing with like, oh, that land there was no lake before? Do you think it's the same spot?
I'm wondering if this was, because you can see back behind there the ocean. Is this them creating that sea that they eventually drown themselves in? Maybe. I don't know. It's very possible that it could be, because this looks to be a coastline.
But you can only fill something up if you bring more dirt. The two options are move dirt around or bring dirt to fill something.
No, he's creating the sea.
I know, but you got to put... Oh, you're saying he's digging out of here?
Yeah, digging the inlet.
Yeah.
Possibly, maybe.
Yeah, no, it could be. It's hard to know.
Because you can see, like, the sea behind there, though,
Yeah.
And that's what seems to suggest, and the terrain looks the same.
When they showed the sea that you're referring to where all the bodies were floating, that was a lot smaller than this. This is like a distant ocean that's gigantic. That was a much smaller thing.
We'll see. I'm not sure.
I have a good memory for water, James. Trust me. Okay, I owned an aquarium business for 10 years. All right, so why don't you back the fuck off, or you will see. Yeah, there you go. Oh, look.
So we don't really know the question that no one dared to ask. We don't quite know what he's getting at with that yet.
With showing her this, or what he's building? You mean?
Well, that's what he said. He says to ask the one question that no one dared to ask.
Oh, all right. Well, what's the question?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what did I miss? Well, I mean, to me, this indicates him proving, or at least thinking he's proving that he is now the creator.
Yeah.
In a way, this is a contrast to what we saw earlier in this episode, where Dolores was telling the one guy that she is the god now, because now I am him, and you must worship. So they all think they're gods.
No.
Right?
And she basically said, I'm the man now, dog.
I mean, that's kind of why we play video games, to feel that power, in a way. I mean, in a very dumb,
virtually,
nerdy way,
at this point, I'm basically Kratos.
James is Kratos.
I am the god of war.
James has been playing that game a lot, and I've been watching him play it a lot.
10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Best game ever.
Beautiful game, and you should see James play it, guys. He's just nothing but smiles. Smiles the whole time. Really creepy. No, it's not. James isn't that weird. So there he goes.
This is the Confederate guy.
Yep, they're leading the charge here.
Teddy.
Teddy and Dolores go riding by on their horses, and he's now working for them, it looks like. And they come up upon this thing. Have we seen this before?
It's a Confederate fort. So basically what she's saying is that they're not going to take too kindly if they see, a farm rancher's daughter and a lawman riding up to their front gate.
Yeah.
And you say, I think Teddy's implying, well, maybe they should ride in front of us. But she's like, nope, we're all going to the same place. We're going to,
Right.
They're going to learn to respect me just like these groups respected me. But
Yes.
she said that the place they're going is that she's already seen something that someone, an old friend, was foolish enough to show her, and that it's a weapon.
So she's referring, though, we assume, based on how this episode starts with her with Arnold in the city, that she's talking about something she saw in the city.
It has to be Arnold she was talking about, something she saw, and that she's going to use it against them to destroy them all.
Right.
What could it be, though?
So when she says it's a weapon, does that mean she was misinformed, meaning she made an incorrect assumption about something that she thought that she decided was powerful? Because, like if you brought somebody from the 1600s, they'd be like, the microwave is a weapon.
It's an electric carving knife. Once we have this blade of Excalibur, we can take them all out.
They'd be like, look at this rubber band. Or maybe, I will dominate.
Maybe even to her something as simple as a car.
Yeah, I
will drive them all over with this wonderful metal horse.
Right. She's got that concrete mixer.
Yeah.
She's like, I will make concrete.
No, but this is clearly a tease for the next episode to find out what is it that she knows. What did she see? What is this weapon? Is it a magic console with a button to reverse code? Is it something that relinquishes all commands that Maeve might already have her hands on? Is it a physical object? What is it?
Okay, so we know that she's going to be outmatched. The American, Chinese, corporate, mercenary, militaries. There's no way that these robots can win this fight unless they have some kind of weapon that will even the odds. So what does she think? It could be because she has a mistaken sense of what she's up against, which I think is probably true, and she'll learn more hopefully. Or in combination, she knows that she has some sort of, if she can get a hold of it. The only thing I'm thinking of is like a biological weapon. Like an actual
that would be terrifying. Something that would corrode and attack humans, but not hurt hosts.
And the hosts would probably have immunities to certain things. But I don't know why they would have been like, Arnold would have been like, hey, we're gonna go to this party. I mean, we're gonna get you a white dress, and we're gonna go look at deadly global pandemic viruses.
The Resident Evil T virus is right over here. It's one of my favorite things. It doesn't really fit the narrative at all. I like the idea, but I don't think that's it.
Have you seen Outbreak? No. Starring the guy from Tootsie. Pretty good movie.
He likes to touch people.
Oh yeah, was he a touch guy?
He was a touch guy.
Motherfucker. Get permission first, boys. Come on, idiots.
No, Jim Carrey actually was talking about, he was on a late night show last week, and he says, oh yeah, after Rain Man was on, I got a call from Dustin Hoffman telling me, like, congratulating me on how great it was. But I'm glad it was a call because he couldn't put his hands on me.
Oh, this Dustin, he went after the fellas, like Kevin
did.
Spacey? Oh, all right. Well, hey, you know what? Equal opportunity. Go.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, no. Jim Carrey went after him by blasting him.
I know, I mean, but he was saying that Jim
Carrey
was saying
he was
that,
not implying that Dustin Hoffman was touching men.
Oh, well, why was he worried Dustin Hoffman would touch him?
He was
just making a joke.
He was telling a story about something that happened a long time ago, but wanted to say, I'm telling the story and painting him in a favorable light, but I think he's a scumbag now.
Oh, I see. He's saying that. Okay, all right, I got you. All right, well, we'll talk about that on Dustin Hoffman Professor, our other YouTube channel. Anyway, so Dolores is now turned into a genocidal warlord maniac.
What is this weapon? What is it going to be?
We don't know. Yeah. So what do you think it's going to be? It's not like it's a big gun. Oh, I saw a shotgun.
Can you imagine how terrible it'd be if she just has like a big like chain gun from Doom, like,
or she saw an AR-15 in a school shooting or something?
Oh God.
I'm not trying to make that funny. I'm just saying it's horrifying that those are available. So we'll find out. I guess. I'm going to guess it's persuasion, the most powerful weapon of all, persuasion. That's why the media should not be owned by anybody. It should be
maybe she was out and she saw like an old movie plane or something. She saw Thanos with his Infinity Gauntlet and she was like, we just need to get that glove.
Yeah. Or she saw like Michael Jackson moonwalk and she thinks that's like a weapon or something. And so she starts dancing. What if it is dancing? Dancing can Can
you imagine like the whole Confederate army and Dolores there and it's this big tense build up and all of a sudden you hear... Open Gangnam Style.
Whoop.
Gangnam Style.
Have you watched that video? The women that are dancing next to them, they're blasting them with like giant glitter or giant confetti, and it's in their faces.
Oh yeah,
and
it's hilarious.
Barely take it. It's so funny.
It's so hokey. I love it.
It is a funny song. Okay, so. Yeah, so there they are. We have a cool shot, kind of a horse hero thing. The horses are looking different directions because they're...
they eventually turn and look kind of...
Yeah, they do turn their heads towards each other, kind of at the same time, which I thought was pretty good acting.
It reacts to Teddy pulling the harness.
Oh, yeah, okay, all right. Horses are scary animals. I used to work at a horse barn, and I learned how to ride horses. Nice. So... I think they're big, dumb, stupid, expensive animals. So
the major questions, the burning questions
That's the final
what
shot.
Is the big question? Maybe he did ask what the question was, but we just didn't catch it because we didn't get the screenshot and my mind dumped it before we could finish talking about it. So what is the big question that no one dares to ask that William says? Okay. What is the weapon that Dolores knows about? And what other massive thing have we missed in watching this?
Well,
there's always at least one massive thing that we miss.
Yeah, I'm sure there's some detail we got right. I don't even know who this guy is. Anybody, if you want to tell me in the comments,
it's definitely not Teddy.
No, it's not Teddy. No, we would recognize Teddy if that was Teddy. So let us know who you think that might be. And who's this right here? This doesn't look like Ronald McDonald. I was expecting Grimace, but anyway,
that's Thanos.
That's Thanos without his makeup or his big scrotum chin. So answer those questions, everybody. Do it now. In the comments. James, anything else to say, though, about the show?
Nope. The fact that you brought up a burrito makes me want to run down and eat a burrito right now.
All right, good. I'm going to drink the rest of this coffee. It's 9:50 p.m. I'm drinking coffee because it'll be up till 3 in the morning. We're animating this stuff. I choose to do it. I'm not complaining, but it does take work. I could skip the animation, I guess, but I like it. I want to do it. I want to work. Anyway... I got nothing else. This was a pretty entertaining episode, though. I was pretty compelled.
It's filling in the gaps that they created for themselves, which you could argue is a lazy way of writing, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could see...
It's a way of creating intrigue and mystery where otherwise, if you were to tell it in a linear chronological path, it wouldn't be interesting at all.
It's a little too reliant on the flashback, flash-forward thing, but...
The mystery is simply in the lack of details.
It's done very well, though, and they do give you just enough information to answer some questions, but also not enough information to answer the questions you really want to be answered. And they're also posing new questions all the time. So that's the reason why I think the show has captured so many people's interest and imagination. So anyway, thank you, everybody. We really do appreciate you watching and this, and especially those of you that don't like it, but for some reason watch everything. Keep watching.
The one thing that I'll mention, the last thing, is someone who clearly didn't like the video last time said that we were stupid, which I get.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
That's the first thing I'll tell
Totally
you.
fine with that. I'll admit any day of the week that I'm stupid about a lot of things.
My brain is a fucking
But the one
nightmare.
thing he said, I could not wrap my head around. He said, "You are stupid and arrogant."
Oh, yeah.
Arrogant?
Of course we're arrogant. I'm arrogant.
I don't believe anything.
No,
anything I say, I'm open to being challenged on. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm right about anything.
Yeah, no. On our what we're saying, there's no arrogance, but doing a YouTube channel, there's an inherent sense of arrogance, I think, and I think that you could say about anybody who puts anything out there for others to see. I mean, but therefore, there's a judgment that falls apart. It's a silly thing to say. No, it's not. Yeah, but I'm saying there's an inherent arrogance to anybody who thinks their opinion should be on a platform where it gets heard in any way.
But I don't think
Very. I know. That's what I'm saying. I'm claiming that because I forced you to do this stuff generally. James is basically like a victim here. I take advantage of his politeness. But no, I get it. I mean, I'm not saying that guy's right at all. I don't think that guy's right. It's a silly thing to say. But if you just the whole instinct to express yourself, so to speak. Why do we make video? Why does anybody do YouTube? And we're not the only people. I should say, be saying me, not we. But there's not. I'm only saying that, and I'm not in the context of that guy's comment. I would disagree completely. But on a separate sort of thought examination of what motivates this behavior of making videos or saying something publicly, which is essentially what most internet things are, where people why does anybody write a blog? What the fuck are you trying to do? I mean, there's more to it than just pure arrogance. Yeah. Obviously, a lot more. Some people do have interesting things to say.
Arrogance is like when you blast your radio in your car, or you have speakers installed that are so obnoxiously loud that you force other people into sharing the experience with you, regardless of whether or not they want to be a party to it. Or when you walk out in public and stand on the street corner with a megaphone saying, "Oh, the world is ending, I'm right, you're all wrong, you're going to burn in hellfire."
Yes.
That's arrogance.
Yes.
But putting something out there that people have to seek out and click on to consume,
right?
I don't see that as arrogant. He's like, you want to have a discussion with us? Great, we want to have a discussion with you. This is fun. We love the show. We love talking to you guys. We love commenting.
There's a reward, and the process is fun. Believe me, I wouldn't have put in X number of thousands of hours on this slowly growing channel if over the last 4.5 years if the process itself wasn't part of the reward,
because this channel is like a very non-aggressive tumor.
Yeah, but it's a little malignant, just a touch, mostly benign. Mostly I'd say it's more just confused with the video game shit and the TV show stuff, which is obviously more interesting. People are more interested in that, and we have a whole bunch of other videos too, but I only own the arrogance because in a way because I think it's absurd to say things publicly, even though I'm pursuing a career in comedy, which means I'm in that vein. That is pretty arrogant to think that your thoughts belong to deserve to be amplified in a way. But there's also
couldn't we call that guy arrogant for commenting on it?
Well, you could look
like
sure,
you're putting your opinion out there right now.
So, yeah, but I mean, you could look at anybody trying to do something in any field and say, "Oh, look at you going out of your way to intentionally succeed in something." That's no, you just got to work hard and hope that it works out. And I mean,
you go to the doctor because you're sick, and you go, "Oh, you have strep throat." Slap him, "You arrogant piece of crap! Think you know what's wrong with me?"
I'm gonna leave a comment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fine. I mean, I don't put much stock in that stuff. But people who are writing nice stuff, I agree. I agree.
Yeah, I mean, 99.9% of the comments are awesome. I read every single one of them. I appreciate every single one of them. It's just every now and then you get the one little one that sneaks in, and you're like,
well, that's because we're not used to.
I don't really get that.
We're not used to getting a lot of views. Yeah. Which it's like part of the nature of YouTube is that if you get a lot of views, you're also gonna get you can't get the butterflies without getting the mosquitoes. You know what I'm saying, James?
Do mosquitoes bite butterflies?
Yes. They ride them like
that would be like a dog sucking blood out of you by the size difference. Ooh.
Oh, to a mosquito, yeah.
Yeah,
can you imagine
terrifying.
like a mosquito the size of your arm?
Ugh. It's like The Mist.
The Mist. Oh, the movie The Mist?
The Mist.
Yeah, okay.
The novel, actually.
The video game The Mist? I couldn't see the novel. I was reading The Smog.
Yes.
Does that make any sense?
Sure.
I don't know. Whatever. It is what it is. But I'm so happy that people do watch this stuff. It's fucking swearing so much. It's great. It's really flattering and encouraging, and we do love hearing from people. Find James on Twitter at VideoJamesSP. I'm at Suckprofessor. There's also other links in the description for my personal Twitter and shit. And everything else. So yeah, thanks guys. Oh, Patreon too if you're interested. We do a podcast. We actually talk more. I don't know if anybody listened to the last Patreon podcast, but we pick out comments and talk about them. So that was kind of fun.
Yeah.
James hated it, but I had a great time.
All right.
Burrito time for James and editing time for me. Off we go. Thank you very much, everybody. Season 2, or episode 2 was awesome. See you next week. Bye.